fair warning. Always launch a fair warning so you can't bitch at me later. I'm having a very dumb day today.
Oh, no, again?
Well, more than usual.
Oh. What happened?
I don't know. I'm really starting to wonder if someone slipped me a Mickey. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. So how you doing?
Just a normal Monday. Nice, restful weekend.
Happy Easter.
Thank you.
What'd you do for Easter?
I cooked a little lamb and drank some red wine. And that was it.
Some poor little lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little leg of lamb.
Yeah. Any former Shemps or otherwise? Like I said, this is the dumb part. I'm trying to come up with a word, and I'm not going to. And you're not helping me out by not filling in the word for me. Any other former Shemps or otherwise dysfunctional? That's the word I'm looking for. People come over?
Just a drop by, and somebody dropped off a bottle of wine and said Happy Easter.
And they got the hell out of there?
They got the hell out of there, and then some phone calls, and even Dickie was invited for dinner, and I guess he had other plans.
Wow.
I know.
Shut up by Dickie.
Whatever. Yeah.
So you're all alone on Easter?
Well, me and the dogs. Actually, it was fine. It was actually quite good.
I know what those days are like.
Yeah, it was actually a treat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was it.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, it was really nice. Nice and restful and beautiful weather, and just it was a great weekend.
Is it raining again today?
Maybe a little bitty, just misty drizzle.
Or are they saving it up for Thursday again?
Wednesday's supposed to be nice, I know.
Yeah. Clouding up on Thursday.
Well,
Wednesday, I guess, is the most important day. That's the Hamel Open. You haven't forgotten about that, have you?
No, not at all. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, very good.
In fact, I might try to, if it's not raining, I want to go to the driving range today because I haven't played golf in a year. And I want to be there to support my team.
Hey, now, today is the day that the bidding comes to a conclusion at 101kgb.com. Are you going there right now? I see you busy with your fingers.
I'll go see how we're doing.
Tell me what the bidding is at right now, 101kgb.com. I don't know what time today they finish it. And even if they told me,
it wouldn't be true.
it wouldn't be right. Yeah. No. So if you had any mind at all about kind of laying back and throwing in a big bid at the end to play in one of our groups, you better do it like right now. Because a lot of times they'll say, oh, when you said close it at 5, I assumed you meant 5 a.m.
In Bangkok.
What do you got for me, Shell?
Let's see. Yeah.
There are 4 remaining slots that you can bid on. Twosomes. Playing the twosome of Shelley and a faux Shemp. What are you guys going for these days?
$250.
All right.
Kind of pitiful.
Play in the...
Hoping for more.
In the slot of Boyer and Chainsaw. What are they going for?
$430.
Good Lord Almighty.
I know.
Play in the remaining slot, a twosome with me and Abramowitz. What are we going for?
You're the high water mark at $450.
Or... if you really want to win, bid to play in the twosome with the Hoof and Mojo Nixon.
And they're sporting $350.
Yeah, well, a lot of guys want to play with
I
the
know.
Hoof.
But
Yeah.
don't think that you can just play with her and have your way with her.
Sure you can.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know.
It's all right with me.
Okay.
I have no problems. We will
all right. Well, good then.
We will all turn our heads. Speaking of the Hoof, the Hoof is going to be all over network TV today.
Really?
Yeah, coming up this morning, the Hoof is going to be on the Fox News Network at 7 o'clock this morning. She's going to be on CNN between 7:30 and 8. And then she's going to be on Today on NBC right after 8 o'clock. She is covering the Peterson murder.
Got it.
And apparently the Petersons are standing out in the streets of San Diego saying, our son is a good boy. I know it. What do you do in this case?
I don't know. I can empathize with, a family member, and you want to support them, and you want to think that, that this is just a horrible mistake. But it sure looks...
What does it serve, though?
Maybe you don't say anything.
Well, that's what I thought, Chainsaw, but there must be someone telling them you have to get out in the public and start defending your son if he has any kind of a chance of beating this rap. I don't know otherwise why anybody would go out and say anything. Why would you subject yourself to that kind of abuse, foolishness?
Yeah. Unless you're just trying to show a public support for the son.
But that doesn't do anybody any good.
Maybe the son.
You know what? Go to jail. Visit him in jail.
Right.
Does he even get to watch TV? Does he even get to know that this is going on? Go see him in jail.
Yeah.
I got to think there's a lawyer somewhere telling him, hey, listen, you got to start putting a good thought into the heads of potential jurors who are going to be on your son's trial, deciding his fate. You've got to do this for him. Because they always do this.
Yeah.
It's just too late for that, though.
No, it's not.
To put a good thought in a juror's mind.
Sure.
I
It's
don't
never
know.
too late.
I don't know.
Never too late. I mean, if you can reach one. But these people are just, I mean, did you hear what they said?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the mom, you know, it's so tragic. I mean, obviously this is emotional for her. This is her child, you know, going through this. And you have to think that they had a relationship with their daughter-in-law as well that is causing them, you know, pain right now.
What's the noise from?
Are you listening off air?
Yes. On air. I don't know what you mean.
Are we listening to the radio station right
Talking
now?
about the hum?
I don't even know what you mean.
Are you listening to the received broadcast?
I'm
of
listening to
radio
the
station?
air signal.
Air signal, yeah. I think there's a hum in the air signal.
That's not it.
That
That's
was
not
it.
it.
Oh, there's a hum.
That was it.
Yeah. No, I think it's...
Oh, I know what it is. There it is. It's
Gone.
Got it.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Pretty smart, aren't I?
Give me that Hummer machine. I might use it later.
Yeah. What is it? You know, explain to me, psychologically speaking, Shell. You step up and handle a lot of these questions. What is it that says, oh, they probably just found my wife's body and my baby's body? I know what I'll do. I'll go golfing.
After I bleached my hair, gathered up $10,000 in my brother's ID.
But what is that? Is that the O.J. Simpson theory of finding the killers on the golf course?
I think that
let's say you've killed your wife, okay?
right.
And you're trying to convince people that you're innocent.
Mm-hmm.
If suddenly two bodies wash ashore, do you continue the ruse of trying to convince people that you didn't do it by going golfing? Or do you act concerned? Do you pretend to be concerned?
Wouldn't a normal person act concerned?
Wouldn't a normal person be like going to where the body is
Pacing outside the door.
and doing what they can
Yes.
to help identify the body?
Yes.
Instead, this guy goes to Torrey Pines. And here's another question. What the hell's going on in San Diego? All the time now, all the big bad news
Like
is
a
happening here in
magnet.
San
I
Diego.
know.
We got the Hail Bop people cutting their nuts off and drinking the pudding.
Yes.
We've got the 9/11 terrorists hanging out here.
Right.
We've got the Westerfield thing. We've
Yeah.
got the Peterson thing. We've got 25% of our coalition forces are from San Diego. What's going on with San
And
Diego
don't forget
these
Elizabeth
days?
Smart was
Elizabeth Smart was hanging out here.
hanging out here when she was
I guess
kidnapped.
everybody wants to be here, whether they're good guys, bad guys,
Well, it is a tourist
victims,
destination.
criminals.
Same thing with Fresno, or Modesto, rather. My Modesto, my hometown. You know, this is where the Petersons are from. This is where that a-hole
Gary Condit?
Gary Condit's from. And Corey Stainer, that horrible
Oh,
murder
that's
guy, is in
right.
that county. So we have a lot of things going on up there. People want to be in Modesto, too. Modesto, San Diego, a lot alike.
What the hell is going on?
It's the sheer population.
Past couple of years. Everything's happening here.
I know it.
All right, here's James on the KGB. What's going on, James?
What's up?
Talking to you, buddy.
I was just waiting to get word on when Kiss and Aerosmith are coming back. She put me on hold. I don't know why she put me on the radio.
Here's Chainsaw with details on when Aerosmith and Kiss are coming to town. Go ahead, Chainsaw.
They're coming here to town, I believe, on October 15th.
Oh, right on.
And that's a wild, wild guess.
I think
That's
that's
a
right.
long
I
though.
way
think
off,
it's
dude.
right.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, since I'm on the radio, how can I win tickets?
I give up.
All right.
Thank you, James.
All right. Thanks a lot.
See you later. All right, the Hope will join us a little bit later on this morning about her media blizzard going on today. Why does a crackpot like the Hoof get on TV talking about this stuff?
We'll have to ask her.
What kind of credibility does that one have?
I don't know.
None.
People don't know.
I'm here to tell you. And we'll talk sports with the Chainsaw coming up after this first time out. It's KGB. You're with Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw. Good morning, everyone. Other than that, it's a great day to be alive and in San Diego.
Full of life today.
I'm telling you, it's a dumb day. Major League dumb day. I think someone slipped me a Mickey.
I wish someone would slip me a Mickey, actually. Do you mind?
I had one of those days yesterday where I took a nap and I never recovered. I still haven't recovered.
Did you say this last Monday?
Probably,
Same
but,
exact thing.
you know, whatever.
Happened flashback.
Last Monday was coming off vacation.
That's right.
I have no excuse this time around.
Well,
Do you ever take a nap and you wake up and you don't know what day it is, what time it is, where
this is
you
why I
are?
don't take naps.
We
Really?
Yes, that's how I am every time I go to sleep.
See, I don't think a nap has truly been successful unless you wake up that way. That's what I strive for.
Well, yeah,
Total loss, total loss of control.
but I don't like that when you're
Right
trying
up to the point where a diaper would have saved you. I don't want to go that far.
Right.
But a loss of all other bodily
Your
functions.
poor wife.
You wake up dead, basically.
Yeah. Oh, man. I am hurting this morning, Chainsaw.
From a nap? You know, you're
I didn't
getting
recover,
pretty
Shel.
old when a nap has injured you.
And I took this nap yesterday, like at 3 or 4 o'clock, and I have not recovered.
What time did you get up? 6?
Oh, it was like a 2 or 3 hour nap. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That'll hurt you.
You know, it's a holiday nap. Is there anything better than a holiday nap?
Oh, that's
No.
great.
There's not anything better than a nap anytime. But you wake up at 6:30 at night. Oh, I'm dead, but I get to go back to bed in 2 hours. That's the good side.
We went to brunch yesterday, Easter brunch yesterday, and I didn't recover.
It's what you're supposed to do, though. You're supposed to be so full that you just laze around all day long.
I thought that was Christmas and
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
yeah. Well, what?
Easter has been worked into it from now on, and I'm thinking Memorial Day might be added to the list.
Good. Oh, that'll be good.
And possibly President's Day.
Yeah.
How about the 4th
Is
of
Martin
July?
Luther King an official brunch holiday?
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
DJs get special nap
You can
dispensations.
take Rosh Hashanah, too. You might as well. Ramadan. That's a whole month.
Here's Gary on the KGB. What's going on, Gary?
Yeah, hi Dave. How are you?
No, I'm not. I
Yeah,
suck.
what?
I'm terrible. That's all I am. What's up, bud?
I'm kind of. I have to admit, I'm kind of the same way you are. I work in the fire department, though.
Big
And-
deal. Imagine being a DJ.
Well, the thing is, sometimes at 2 a.m. you get a call, and it's like any other time. I'm the same way you are. I don't know what day it is when I wake up, but when you get that adrenaline pump from a call,
I'll bet.
you're wide awake. It's the only time I'm ever like that.
What part of our fine city are you protecting us from fires?
North Island and Coronado.
Beautiful. Do you guys slide down a pole?
One of our stations has one. Yeah.
How about you?
I'm in a single story.
Not really a fireman, then, are you?
That's
Maybe
too bad.
Mm-mm-mm. Fire pole jealousy. Nothing quite as bad.
But I tell you,
envy.
sometimes it's like you just look over at your engineers like, do you know where we're going?
Yeah, I imagine that's a pretty difficult thing to be roused out of your sleep to have to run into danger. I would think that's a...
But they have the advantage.
Toughie.
They get that adrenaline coffee rush. We have to wake up on our own. Lucky bastards.
You sure are lucky.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you wake up, and within 3 minutes, you're on scene of whatever it is you get. So within a 3-minute period, you've got your stuff on, you're ready to go to work.
Got a
Sometimes
mustache?
it's hard.
You got a mustache, Gary?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course you do.
All firemen do.
Yeah, I know. That porn star mustache.
I know.
Exactly.
Sexy.
Yeah. All right, Gary.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks, buddy. See you later.
Maybe you could get like a big fire alarm at your house.
Yeah.
And you could get that adrenaline rush.
Put a pole in the bedroom.
Even a pole.
It could be serve many purposes,
Yep,
David.
That's true.
I don't see myself recovering at all this week.
Really? Oh, I think that'll be fun.
That's the way it's going to be all week.
Awesome.
Let's get a sports update here on the KGB. Here's the Chainsaw. Good morning.
Well, good morning, and thank you, David, and hello again, everybody, in the sports world. Goose eggs for Easter. The Padres hunting all around Coors Field for a run yesterday, but could not find one. The Rockies found plenty.
The 2-2. Shot to left. Could go. Should go. Back to the wall. It is going. Gone. Jay Payton. Second home run in this series. And it's kind of a little out of hand here. You see, if you walk the first guy and then you let the home run, it's a whole lot worse than them solo jobs. 8-0 Colorado.
Really? You mean when there's a runner on and you score like a 2 or 3 run homer, it's worse than a solo job? Gee, no more insurance runs, Colorado. Rockies win 8-0. Maybe 8 is enough. Rockies led the Padres 7-0 on Saturday. Padres scored 9 unanswered runs to lead 9-7 after being down 7-zip. Of course, the Rockies came back to win that game anyway on Saturday. Why not? Now 7-12. The Padres have lost 5 in a row and are tied for last with Arizona. I hope I didn't sugarcoat that too much for you. Padres visit Wrigley Field tomorrow through Thursday. Speaking of the Cubs, did you see the pitched ball that shattered Sammy Sosa's batting helmet into many, many pieces yesterday?
That had to hurt.
Shockingly, old Bunkerhead is okay. Although Cub fans close to Sammy are worried that even the loss of 3 or 4 IQ points could reduce Sammy's chance of writing the great Dominican novel after his retirement from baseball. Hey, the man who attacked that umpire in Chicago last week is, quote, deeply sorry. I just wanted to get a rise out of the crowd, unquote. Instead, he got a rise on his forehead. Umps and players put a pop knot on him you could hang a suit on. Yeah. The fan admitted he'd consumed 6 16-ounce beers at Wrigley Field, where he'd attended a Cubs game earlier in the day, and then 6 more at Comiskey Park.
A dozen beers.
12 16-ouncers. That scene could have been a lot uglier.
He's lucky, huh?
The San Diego Gulls have reached the finals again, eliminating Bakersfield Friday night. The Gulls will face the winner of Idaho-Fresno in the Taylor Cup finals. In golf, Davis Love III chipped in on the final hole to force a playoff, then hit the flagstick with his approach on the 4th extra hole to defeat Woody Austin and win his 5th MCI Heritage at Hilton Head, South Carolina on Sunday. Trailing Austin by a stroke on the final hole, Love rolled in a wedge from 66 feet to tie for the lead at 13 under par 271. Then, after watching Austin miss makeable putts for the victory on the 2nd and 3rd extra holes, Love hit a 6-iron that bounced off the pin, settled about 3 feet away, and then he putted in, dropped it in for $810,000. Austin, $486,000 for second, meaning that he missed at least 2 $315,000 putts. Meanwhile, in the National...
So we're 1 out away from stretch time here in the 7th. 2 out and nobody on. This will bring up the hard-hitting Marquise Alvarez. Alvarez struggling slightly today due to a small abrasion just shy of his left nipple. Scuff there, generating just a bit of discomfort while swinging the lumber. Young delivers, breaking ball in there, strike 1. What a performance from Don Young on the hill today. Been near perfect. He's got a high leg kick, of course, which brings his knee almost up to his chin, giving the batters a good look at his strong right thigh. And when he does it, the cloth on his pant legs tighten, squeezing against and perfectly highlighting his comely hind end. The 0-1 delivery, slider in there for strike 2. No wonder this youngster is one of the hottest pitchers in the league. Batters can't concentrate on pitches if they're looking elsewhere. Young waits, gets his sign, kicks and fires, swinging a miss, strike 3. Man, oh man. Young's rump continues to distract batters here in the 7th. So we go to the stretch.
Baseball fever. Catch it.
Basketball Association. The playoffs have begun. The Lakers absolutely steamrolled Minnesota. Kobe 39, Shaq 32, 117-98 in Game 1. Allen Iverson exploded for 55 points as the Sixers blasted the Hornets. Tracy McGrady scored an above-the-rim 43 points as Orlando doctored Detroit. And on Saturday, number 8 seed Phoenix out here in the West needed a three-pointer at the buzzer to beat top seed at San Antonio.
Waiting for Duncan's second free throw. It is up, and it's not good, but the rebound's knocked to the side. Marbury has it. Marbury on the drive. Marbury puts the shot up. It goes! It goes! And the Suns have won the ball game. A three-pointer by Stephon Marbury. Do you believe it? And the Suns run off the court winners.
Yada, yada, yada. Enjoy it while you can. The Lakers are going to win it all again anyway.
Nice giggling.
Eight other sports, David.
Iverson, 55 points.
Yes.
And what is that guy, 6 feet tall?
6'1", 6 foot. He's amazing.
That's astonishing for a guy his height to be knocking down 55. What was the final?
I forget what the final score was. I'd have to look it up, but 55 points is not the all-time playoff record for most points scored in one playoff game. 63 by Michael Jordan, 62 Elgin Baylor.
55 points, though, by a short guy. Man.
For a short guy.
Very impressive.
98-90, so his teammates scored 43.
Jeez.
And Iverson scored 55. 6:37, 35 seconds. This is your 101.5 KGB Sports Network.
The Chainsaw, brought to you by Krispy Kreme. You want to raise some dough? Krispy Kreme offers 2 great fundraising options. Call 866-KRISPY-2 or your local store for more information. Let's get a traffic update. Here's Ruthie.
Thank you so much. Slow traffic in the South Bay, north on 805, Buildings and Plaza up to 43rd, and again through North Park. Some slowing where there's a wreck westbound 52 up over the Summit. Reports of a fire. Crews on the scene. Fairmont Mesa Boulevard just east of the 15. Southbound 15 slows out of Escondido. South 5 heavy La Costa Avenue off and on to Manchester. This traffic report brought to you by the San Diego Union Tribune. I'm Ruth 66 with Dave Shelley and Chainsaw. 101.5 KGB.
This is KGB. It's Dave Shelley and Chainsaw hanging with you. A couple ways to get a hold of us. 888-570-1015. That's a direct connect. Or DSC at 101KGB.com. Shell, opportunity for you to tell me how broads think, how broads work, okay?
I'll try.
Mike writes to me that says one of the guys at work is single. He's been dating this girl for about 3 weeks. And this past weekend, she set aside Saturday night for him to come over for dinner, he puts in quotes.
Right?
Okay.
She suggested he bring a couple bottles of wine, and they would make dinner together. And I told him that any woman, any is capitalized, capital K, capital N, capital Y, any woman that you are dating that invites you over to her home for dinner is saying to the man, I want to bone you tonight.
You're going to be ordering off the menu.
I have no idea what that means.
I don't either.
That means you're going to be slamming her like, as Chainsaw says, a $5 omelet.
Why wouldn't you just say that so I understood you the first time?
That would be too easy, David. Because that's Chainsaw's saying. Yeah, there's... especially bring the wine. If she says bring the wine, come on. She's not expecting you to drive home.
Maybe
You're
she just
staying
wants
the
to
night.
drink and drive.
No, she wants to bone.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you're sleeping on the couch.
No, I won't be sleeping on the couch.
Well, what happened to the guy?
I don't know. He was telling me about
really?
what was... We haven't heard the update yet.
Really?
But is that what women are saying? If you invite a guy over for dinner and you say bring a couple of bottles of wine, are you in slam preparations? Are you in slam mode, Shelley Dunn?
Not necessarily. I mean, I've had plenty of people over, and there's been wine, and there's been food, and there's been no slamming.
Was that satisfactory for you?
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Yeah.
He's taking a long time in the bathroom. Jen, are you okay?
Usually it's an indication if it's not that immediate night, it certainly is. You're certainly a very hot candidate for either tonight or very soon.
I would give you that. You're comfortable. I'm comfortable enough with you that you can come into my home and we're going to drink and have some wine.
You're going to masticate together.
We're going to masticate
Unless
together.
it's a gay man and you're just going to have fun and watch some
Right.
Trading Spaces when it comes on at 9.
Exactly, and I've done that too, and that's fine as well.
But if it's a gay guy, that's a completely different story.
subject. If it's definitely a candidate, you're either slamming that night or you're hoping too soon. If you're the woman, if I can speak as a woman,
And you do. Very well,
Thank
Chainsaw.
you. Thank you.
How about it, Ruth? You're kind of like a broad.
It's been so long since I drank, I'm really not sure. But
Well,
I know I used to never have sex unless I was high or stoned. or
Okay, but
drunk
you
or
invite a guy
something.
over for dinner.
Bring a couple of bottles of lube. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
You invite a guy over for dinner. Aren't you saying to the guy,
For dinner, yes. I'm thinking I've had men to my apartment before, but that just for lunch. And that was just the friend kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
But the ones that want to be more than friends are for dinner, you bet.
Especially been dating this girl for 3 weeks, and she invites to dinner. She
Yeah.
is showing her ability
Right.
to housekeep and to nest.
Well, then I have a question for you, Chris Boyer.
That is what she is showing by preparing dinner.
There
Yes.
you go.
How have you not taken the signals from the hoof then by now?
Yeah, I don't get that. You've
You
been
are
over to her
constantly
house.
invited over for dinner.
She gets the
I mean,
right beer.
You jumped at this. You jumped at this topic.
Right.
Eating off the menu. You just don't want to do her, do you?
Oh, I would do her in a minute.
Then-
but I,
What the hell is your problem?
You're speaking out of two different sides
You
of your
really
head
are.
here.
no.
Yeah, you
Hoof
are.
and I have talked about this at greater length than we have on the show.
Put her on hold. We'll get to the Petersons in a second. I want to know why you and Boyer aren't boning.
No kidding. You've invited him over.
You
You've
like
given
him
him
so
all
much.
all the signals are there.
Boyer agrees that if a woman invites a guy over to her home for dinner, that it's a slam invitation. I mean, he jumped on it. He was the first one to speak.
And we weren't even speaking to him. You were talking to me. You'll be ordering off the menu.
So how come Boyer hasn't ordered off your menu?
Because we work together and we're friends.
Oh, stop it.
That
You
does
guys,
not
you've
exist.
been teasing us about this for months now, and damn it, I want some results.
Even Jerry and Elaine always had like Kramer or George in the house. Even Newman in
Yeah.
a pinch.
Well, first of all, you know what a gentleman Boyer is. Do you think he would tell you if something were happening?
Yes.
Yes.
He damn well better.
You wouldn't be able to hold it back.
All those rules get checked at the door. Quarter-hour maintenance is all we're about here. And everybody's feelings can get checked at the door.
Besides, now we know what he looks like when he's lying.
I mean, you're the latest one to be added to the show here, and you haven't caught on to that yet. But I'm here to tell you, we don't care if we hurt your feelings.
It's all about
All
quarter
we
hours.
care about is the show.
Right.
Now,
Really?
Boyer's known that for years and
Yep.
years.
Yes, and I would tell you if anything was going on.
Or you'd make up a spectacular lie,
Yeah.
as you did with Shelley Dunn.
That's right.
Now, would it be good for the show if they did bone?
Sure.
Yes,
Juicy
absolutely.
Hello, Huff. You got a
Get
kid
to
in
it.
college.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
I'm missing a crucial piece here. What about Shelley? Tell me about that.
You can put this on your time card.
Do I need to spray my territory?
Oh, no, you could, no, this is only referring to a secret that I told Boyer a long time ago, or he might like that, actually. I told Boyer a secret a long time ago. The guys pressed him for information because they saw us talking, and Boyer immediately makes up a worse lie that ever could have been invented. And it lived and it stayed with it.
That was a great lie.
Well-
I'm sitting in it.
It was a lie about Shelley knobbing a guy in Chainsaw's chair one late night at the radio station.
What?
Which never happened. That was the lie that Boyer made up to cover up the truth, which he did so horribly.
Diversion.
Let's ask Jill, which is worse, the lie or the truth?
Well,
We're not
let's not
talking
get-
about that. We're talking about you guys
Yeah.
boning.
Okay. Yes,
is what
we
we're
are.
talking about.
Now, I said if a woman invites a guy over for dinner, she's begging him for sex, and you immediately agreed to it. And despite the fact that Jill has invited you over numerous times for dinner, to the point where she has corrected her menu to fit your fussy needs,
That's true.
you haven't slammed her. Now, which one is it with you?
Well, I'm ready. I show up ready, prepared, and
So what's
willing.
happened?
Have you bled the brake lines before you've gone over to Jill's house?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Ooh,
my.
Shake
Did
your
you
hand
know
when
that,
he came
Jill?
over.
Did you know that, Jill?
The hell he's ready. He comes over and goes straight into the computer, and that's it. I can't get a word in. It's kind of like he's gone into his little dungeon, and I'm not even welcome in my own territory.
www.harvester.dork.
Well, you know, it's tough when you're walking around and she's showing you pictures of, oh, here's the millionaire's ranch, here's the millionaire's house, here's the millionaire's...
Like
Okay,
you've ever
thanks.
cared about that.
Like
No
I really
kidding.
You
have.
have
You know what
never
you say?
cared about the competition, ever.
You say that the millionaires in Texas, I'm right here. Mama.
Well, you know, there's an old saying, ring don't plug a hole, but...
What?
Ring don't plug.
Where is that an old saying? Who has ever said that but you? Who?
But I can't.
There's only one old saying.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on
you.
Shame
Well, no
on you.
kidding.
It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
There it is.
I get it. A ring don't plug a hole. I get it now, but it's not an old one. I've never heard it before.
No one's ever heard that.
There's an old expression that none of you have ever heard before except
that's
me
the way
because
I
it's
talk.
very arcane.
I say it quickly and then I divert. But anyway,
So who's holding out on who? I mean, who's more ready? Who is the one that's blocking this event? Who's
you say
preventing us?
one thing and then you act another way.
Yeah.
Well,
You betray your words.
I know, but there are a couple of things going on here. First is that she and I work together. I feel a little weird.
That's never stopped you before.
No kidding.
That never stopped you before. You almost married a girl that you worked with.
Yeah, I know.
So,
And then
so
certainly
scratch
wanted
that
to.
one. Come on, I don't believe you.
And then there was the second horrible at-work experience, and that kind of made me thinking, ooh.
I don't know what that means.
There's another girl.
There was another girl at work.
Oh,
and
briefly, big deal. Get over it. Move on. This is the hoof.
And
Who'd you date at work?
remember the psycho girl? One time when I was 8 years old and somebody broke a game at a birthday party, and that's why I hate you.
Oh, my God.
Wow. She barely worked here.
Well,
No
what?
kidding.
I know.
you
Thank
almost
God.
you almost married a girl who worked here. That mitigates everything. Come on,
And
you
there was
know it.
another intern over at the other place that you were $5 omeleting.
You know what?
A long time ago, yes.
I dated a girl that I worked with,
Yeah.
and I ended up getting her pregnant twice.
Yeah.
And 15 years later, we're still married. This whole we work together thing is crap. I've never bought into that. Give me the real reason you're not servicing the hoof.
Because she keeps bringing up her millionaire boyfriend.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Swear to God.
Swear to God.
Truthfully.
Truthfully.
Quit bringing up your millionaire boyfriend.
And you might get a little.
I could be biscuit dipping all over the place, but it's my fault. That's right.
Jesus.
Hey, I'm a national correspondent. I don't have time to talk like this anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Big shot. Don't try to
Are
change
you
the
going on
subject.
today like any second now?
I'm going on Fox in a few minutes, but I have to change my tone of voice now that I'm talking for NBC and Time Magazine.
Yes, this is a news.
Really?
Listen to her divert.
Hey, listen. Whatever you do,
Here it comes.
when you're wrapping up the piece, don't screw up and say, from San Diego, I'm the hoof.
Isn't it a trip, though, when you hear them actually talk, and then when they get on the air, it's a whole nother voice. Thank you, David.
Another, yes, this is a newsroom. What are you going to be on Fox?
I'm going to be on Fox. I was just on MSNBC, and I'm going to be on Fox. At
Why didn't you tell us? We would have turned you on and made fun of you.
You were on national television. Was your face on national
It
television?
was, but
International?
MSNBC was live, and that was at 5:30.
When's the Fox thing going to happen?
Fox happens at 7:10, and CNN happens at 7:30,
mean
and then the
50?
Today
Wow.
Show is at 8:10 or so.
Okay, now will the Fox thing be live?
Yes.
So we can watch it and make fun of you?
Yeah, it's not Fox Local, it's the Fox Network.
I understand that. I don't know what channel that is. Oh, yeah.
Shut up.
Hey, Ann Curry interviewed me on NBC. Woman,
That's right.
move along.
She did?
Yes, she did.
Really? What was it about?
Hail Bob.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, we scooped you on that one.
I would love to hear that interview again.
Yada, yada.
I would love to hear that.
Why?
I want to hear the interview.
Why?
Because it's cool.
It is cool.
I know.
Ann Curry. Who interviewed you on NBC? On NBC?
Matt. Or MSNBC, Chris somebody, but some chick.
Matt.
But
Wait a minute. On Today, you're going to be interviewed by Matt Lauer.
Yeah, uh-huh.
You have to say something about his hair.
I already did it, Dodo Bird.
When?
I did it at...
Don't call me a dodo bird, you goony bird.
You're a stink, David.
I did it at 5:10 our time.
What did you say to him?
I blew it. You know, it was my first interview, and my darn cell phone alarm went off 2 hours early, so I had no sleep. I'm totally lame. I have toothpaste on my shirt, and...
Nice.
You know,
Good
it
luck.
was just
Sure, that's toothpaste.
just a mess.
Millionaire toothpaste.
That's what I'd say, too.
What did you
That'll be
say to him
okay.
about his hair?
Sorry?
What did you say to him about his hair?
I didn't say anything, you dodo.
You just said
You just said that you did, you goon.
I said I can't. I didn't say
I'm going to
anything
hang
about
up on you so quick here.
You know what?
She and Boyer are a perfect match.
The campaigns of misinformation that they wage on people.
Hey, Mr. Loopy, Mr. Cranky Pants. settle
Say
down
something
over
to
there.
him about his hair. What?
I'm a national correspondent. I can't do that, David.
I'm a national correspondent, Lovey. You're a crackpot.
I heard you dissing me earlier, you boner. What was that all about?
I don't do it behind your back. I do it to your face. Hello, Jill. You're a crackpot.
Shut up.
Piss off. All right, what channel is Fox, Chainsaw?
I can't find the damn
I don't
thing.
know what channel it is.
you know.
Can't you be on a real network? We know the numbers, too.
I don't know. The Tiger Cub.
Emily, what channel is it?
Come on.
I've been looking.
On Cox, it's 36.
It's almost like Boyer and the Hoof got married and Emily is their child.
That's cruel.
That is mean.
Put Emily in a little baby carriage.
Oh, stop it.
Boyer pushing her around town. This is the offspring of my loins.
Oh, you're grossing us all out. Stop it. Oh.
But yeah, 37, Dave.
37.
They got Will Ferrell on there talking about him being... Oh, and here's Jolly Happy Guy talking about the forecast.
All right, when are you going to be on?
About 10 minutes.
All right, we're going to take a break so we can carry it live and make fun
Excellent.
of you. We are totally going. We are totally going to rip you apart. You know that, right?
You know what? You're such a butthole. Don't do that.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in.
Can't say butthole. You're a news
I'm on the
woman.
air now. I'm busy. I got to go. Bye-bye.
Don't think about us when you're live.
Whatever you do, don't call yourself the Hoof. And don't whinny. Take the feed bag off your face before you go on TV. All right. We're on the KGB.
Dream. Yes, about flying around in a space machine. When a big blue ball appears in the night, our leader says that the time is right. Hail Bob draws near, clean the house, pack that gear. Well, a UFO is right behind. Why don't you come with me, boys and girls, on a magic comet ride? Well, the UFO's got a extra seat. Why don't you take a trek with me? Beam us up, we'll visit E.T. Grab a ride, girl. Say goodbye, world. Let Hail Bob take you away. Last night I packed a travel sack and said goodbye on videotape. Before the ship could come for me, some witch doctor had to take my nuts away. I donned a gown, brand new shoes from Nike Town. Well, you won't know if you stay behind. Why don't you come with me, Cyber Geek, on a magic comet ride? Well, the UFO's got a extra seat. Why don't you take a trek with me? Beam us up, we'll visit E.T. Grab a ride, girl. Say goodbye, world. Let Hail Bob take you away.
Welcome back, everybody, to MSNBC. Rancho Santa Fe is now reacting to the mass suicide in their community. And joining us now with more on this is morning radio host Dave Rickards. What have the callers who've been calling into your radio station telling you about the organization?
If you are not from San Diego, chances are you might not have ever heard of Rancho Santa Fe before. But now, Rancho Santa Fe is Wacky Waco West.
Well, UFO is right behind. Why don't you come with me, boys and girls, on a magic comet ride? Well, the UFO. The DNC!
Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw will be right back.
This is the KGB.
Hey. So?
Yeah, Dave.
Well?
The question is what?
It has not yet been answered.
Why haven't I slammed her?
I only took a break because time insisted on it.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think she is slam ready.
Are you kidding?
Get out.
No. She begs you
started
for it.
this. When a woman invites you over for dinner, has your specific brand of beer.
You specifically, you were the first one in line announcing that she's begging for it.
Yes, but we also had the email note that they had been dating for 3 weeks.
So what?
The Hoof and I haven't dated.
You aren't looking
you've been
for
to movies. You've been. Come on.
You aren't looking for any kind of a relationship.
No, of course not.
It's the F buddy.
Relationship.
So, why
So
can't
what's
you
the
just
problem?
slam her?
Who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think I am? Who do you think you're BSing? Come on.
I'm really not BSing you. I would slam her right now.
You
do it.
Then why don't you?
I would drive to the Fox studios or MSNBC or wherever she is, and she would be doing that report in a monotonous staccato of thrusting and heaving sighs.
Big talk.
All right, here we go.
Correspondent Anita Vogel live outside the courthouse in Modesto, California with details.
Who's
Anita.
that?
Well, hi, David.
That's not the
case
hoof.
of Lacey Peterson and her unborn child moves into the courtroom today with an arraignment for Scott Peterson later today.
Here's the important thing. We're not interested in the case. We're only interested in tearing apart the Hoof's performance.
California. Now, we know that Scott was arrested on Friday afternoon in San Diego. That was while he was driving by a golf course. He was quickly brought up here to the Stanislaus County Jail.
He was driving by a golf course? I thought he was on the driving range when he got nabbed. Wasn't he?
She must have read it wrong.
He must have really sucked with his woods if he get arrested on the driving.
Sink and a TV. He's shackled and has no contact with other prisoners. Now, over the weekend, Scott's parents spoke out about the whole thing. His father, Lee Peterson, told Time magazine that they faulted the Modesto Police Department for not looking at anyone else as a suspect, saying, quote, they worked strictly on a theory that was dreamt up by the lead detective within the first...
Haven't we heard that, like, some of his cement blocks are missing and his fishing gear is missing?
Well, there was cement residue in the boat.
Yeah.
Several anchors in the boat are missing.
You know, stuff that you would use to, I don't know, weight a body down.
Oh, stop. You're jumping to
When
conclusions.
we initially started, there was a
the real
number
killers
of...
are still out there.
I mean, and he doesn't even... This always works out the same way unless you're O.J. Simpson. He's not acting like a guy who didn't do it.
Within the investigation.
You know, if you didn't do this, you're outraged and you're cooperating with the police.
Oh, no, David. You have to get $10,000 together in your brother's ID after you bleach your hair a different color and grow a goatee.
This is
you
so
look
lame,
different.
and I don't understand why the Benet family is still on the loose.
Well, what it is they found linking Peterson to the murder of his wife and unborn child. The New York Post is reporting that Scott Peterson...
Has anyone figured out what his motive was? Why did he do this?
His wife found out about the affair.
Oh.
Don't you think?
Oh.
There was an argument, and maybe he accidentally killed her, shoved her.
Oh.
You know.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
then thought, oh
Had
my
to hide
God,
the
what am I
evidence.
going to do? Right.
Okay, gotcha.
A great relationship with the police department and has in fact represented several police officers.
Get off the TV. Put the hoof on. Hurry up.
His law firm touts itself as being the law firm that police officers choose when they are in trouble. Once again, the arraignment here is set to take place at 1:30 local time, 4:30 Eastern. David, back to you.
Anita Vogel in Modesto. Thanks, Anita.
And straight
Nice smug look.
Peterson's arraignment right around the corner, as you just heard. His parents are speaking.
Well, where the hell is the hoof? What's going on here?
You'll hear coming up from the reporter who spoke with them.
Oh, that must be
Also,
her.
did Saddam have his weapons of mass
All
destruction?
right, bail out. It was all ready to
Damn.
rip
Just like
the
a
hoof.
just like a Boyer date, all served up, ready to go, yanked out right at the second.
Hoofus interruptus.
So are you going to nail the hoof or not?
Come on.
I'm ready, willing, and able.
So it's the hoof
And
is blocking.
I show up prepared.
And you've announced that you've even bled the brake lines previous to going to the hoof's house that day.
Oh, definitely.
And you'd still be good for two that night if it happened?
Yeah, a little refractory period between the two. But
Refractory period.
What the hell is that?
Recharge. You gotta wait. You gotta
Really? Is that how it works? You can't go right away?
No.
Refractory.
Well, some guys can go right away.
Refractory had something to do with lenses or something like that.
Something.
What was that, Ruth? Some guys can what?
Some guys don't wait. They don't have to.
All guys have to wait. In between?
They're lying.
At least 5 minutes.
At least 5 minutes.
Not all of them.
Would you have personal experience?
Yes.
There was no downtime at all?
Well, then that's the same one. It's the same one.
Yeah, there was fakeage involved.
What do you mean fake it?
Well,
You cannot fire the missile without
Reloading.
retracting the cannon, reloading.
Refracting.
If you fire the cannon, you've got to lower the muzzle to reload it.
I have been with two men that did not do that.
Look, one of them had a strap on, okay? Because that's not the way it works.
How do you know this?
Because I was there. You know, and a big part of the first one, and it was still going, and
It's the same one.
Never rested.
It's the same mission.
Well, no, because after you fire,
Are you saying that he didn't go down to half-mast again before 5 minutes later he fired again? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying when he did fire, everything stayed as it was.
Right.
And kept going.
At attention.
At full attention.
Impossible.
I'm telling you. That's what I said. I'm kind of looking at him like, oh, my God.
13-year-old paper boy can do it.
Well, you know what?
Was there Viagra involved?
No.
The woman of 10,000 experiments should know that there might be one freak out of 10,000.
But I want to know how the woman of 10,000 experiments knows necessarily if the missile had been fired.
Well, I am.
There's only one way to know.
I know, and I'm deducing that as well, David.
Please don't go there.
Can't help it. I'm already there.
I am
See,
too.
that is the only way you can know.
You saw?
Yeah.
You saw.
Well, at least her eyes were in proximity.
You mean you were upside down too? Oh,
here we go. Here we go.
Oh, there's the
San
hook.
Diego. Jill, thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you, Bridget.
They've said that they feel that the cops are framing Scott. Did they tell you why they think the cops would want to do that?
They have a number of reasons. You know, they're frustrated, they're disgusted with the way what they call as preening by Modesto police. They say that the
How come you're
police
not
all
slamming
along,
Boyer? That's what I want the question. Why aren't you slamming Boyer?
after her mother, who was thought to be the last person who talked to Lacey, but they've discredited those witnesses, so nobody else will come forward. They also say that every single thing that we've been hearing about for months, him selling the car, him looking...
Look at her. She's so credible. This is the same woman who says Kevins are invisible because we don't recognize your name.
Did try to explain some of those.
What's
now,
she wearing?
They told you a little bit about why he sold the car. Is that right?
Right. They said that,
Wearing
first
jewelry?
of all...
Hair up, hair down.
Hair down.
Hair down.
Hoop earrings.
Lacey had wanted to get rid of that car herself. It was
Full TV
unreliable. She
makeup?
wanted
Full TV makeup?
She looks tired.
it would often break down.
Oh, she told us though she woke up like 3 o'clock in the morning or
to be
something.
safe. So the car was always going to be sold, number one. Number two, when it comes to the house, they said that Scott just didn't want to bring Lacey home to that house. A friend who worked in the volunteer...
I hope she says I'm the hoof.
Just as a side...
Oh, we should have asked for a secret signal.
I get for this house because
Are we going to do that for today?
as for the insurance policies, they say it wasn't an insurance policy, it was a
Or
retirement
CNN. She's going to be on CNN like in 20 minutes. We got to ask for a secret signal.
bought 2 years ago for $250,000.
So far, haven't heard a word.
Okay, did they say anything about the affair with that woman, Amber Frey? There have been some reports that he essentially led a double life. Did they talk about that at all to you?
They did not talk about it. You know, they hadn't been talking to the media.
So far, I'm much more impressed with my appearance with Ann Curry.
In the interview,
Me
Mrs.
too.
Peterson
Well, you're prettier.
has oxygen, and so she was
Scott
only
Peterson has kind of a chubby Ben Affleck look to him.
Yeah, he does.
upset, obviously, and a lot of people would say, well, of course they're defending their defending.
Ben Affleck has kind of a chubby Ben Affleck look to him, though.
That's
these days.
true.
He's got a chubby face
for a
now?
scapegoat. And just
He's always been a little doughy, don't you
Hey,
think?
look, Ralph Nader. Or is that Alan Alda?
where he was,
Hawkeye!
receipts. The police have always known everything, and now they say mysteriously 4 months later her body appears.
Right. Now, how did they explain the change in appearance, the new hair color and the goatee,
Yeah.
and that he had
Just having fun.
$10,000 on him?
Spring
That
break.
People believe that he was on his way to Mexico. What do they say about that?
Well, this is what they say. First of all, their son has always lived, you know, close to the border. He goes to Mexico.
Yep.
He was there as recently as 6 weeks ago on business. The police knew where he was every day. They say that the police put a device on his car so that they knew where he was. Plus, they knew that the Petersons talked to him every day. So they said there's no way that their son was going to run away or run to Mexico. It's just the police had already run him out of Modesto.
I think Shelley's got this one figured out. I think there was a fight, and there was a terrible, terrible accident,
Right.
and he had to get rid of her.
Yep.
Panicked.
And he must have done a really good job because there's not been any physical evidence in the house. I mean, the police have not had anything to arrest him on until this.
Grieving his wife, but a baby boy.
Yes, they did say the whole family is grieving, as anybody would. They said that up until a week before Lacey's
She's got such a
disappearance,
serious face on.
how much they wish they could
lot of
send,
pancake.
like,
Serious
Lacey and
story.
Scott.
Oh, well, you know,
That the entire family,
this is not an honest representation of the hoof, I don't think. Do you think so, Shell?
Well, I'm looking at it at an angle.
He's innocent from
No,
sitting
it's not.
there with these
Absolutely.
people.
They absolutely believe he's innocent, and they say, as a matter of fact, why aren't police looking into other disappearances in that Bay Area of pregnant women? 2 pregnant women are
Pregnant?
still missing, they say, and another pregnant woman's body was found in January in that same area.
Well, didn't the DNA prove that it's her?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then, so come on. Cut it out.
This is a family in denial and not able to handle the fact that their son did something horrible.
All right, here is Andrew on the KGB. What's going on, Andrew?
Hey, Dave.
Dave.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, Ruth is right. See, what it is pre-ejaculation.
Oh, brother.
What it
Back
is,
to this
There was
already.
no
Stop.
pre about it, babe.
No, you try to stop. It's because it feels good, but you don't want to go too quick. So you try to stop, and it comes out anyway.
Ruth is saying she saw the missile
And then-
fly from the cannon.
And you can go right back.
All right, never mind.
I think he was just calling to brag.
What's he going to
And
brag
I can
about?
do that too.
You saw the missile fly from the cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And the muzzle never had to be lowered to be reloaded.
Correct.
I don't believe you.
And it wasn't
Why
a
would I
strap
lie?
on, and it wasn't Viagra.
I don't think you're lying. I just think you're a crackpot.
Oh, it happened.
Were there any drugs involved?
No.
Were you stoned at the time?
No, this was like in January, a couple months ago.
How
You
old
got
was this
slammed
guy?
in January and you didn't tell us?
Well, yeah, I did.
Ruthie!
How old was this guy?
He is, I think,
Ted.
32, 33.
Is this the big black guy who gives it to you in the ear?
No, he's sort of on this, smaller in stature than my usual ones.
Oh. All right, let me talk to her. Put her on the line.
Here we go.
What the hell? Nice, serious look.
What is wrong with this picture when the minute I get off, I call you and go, what did they say about me?
Oh, you were so serious. Hey, now, what's next? CNN?
Yeah.
All right, we need a secret signal. We need a secret signal.
Put another layer of pancake on your left cheek.
Isn't that awful? Oh,
We want a secret signal.
like a Carol Burnett?
Yes.
Okay, well, tell me, what do you want?
You know, she has two hoop earrings on. What if you took one of them off?
No,
In the middle of the interview.
Yeah, in the middle.
Or burn a wart off like Boyer likes to do in the middle of the show.
That could be your mating call to him.
Excuse me for 1 second, Wolf. I've got this nasty wart on my finger. I need to burn this off here on the air like Chris Boyer does.
I got a better one. Excuse me, Wolf. Farmer blow.
We want a secret signal.
That would be appropriate during an interview about a murder case, right?
Well, grow up.
This is come on, this
Up
is
on the
so
hair
cut and
twirl.
dried.
Grow up.
Grab your nose, a wink. What are you going to do for us?
Oh, man.
Flip your hair Gidget style.
Why don't I just grab my boob and get it over with?
Okay.
It's below
That's
camera
good.
level.
That's right. Okay. I don't know.
Readjust your panties.
Below cam.
David, I'm commando. I think you would know that.
Oh.
Really?
Did we know that?
I did not know that.
Tearaway jeans.
Did
for
you know
Boyer.
that, Boyer?
Yeah, I knew that she was a commando style.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Are you Kojak?
No, she's Shamrock.
Oh, okay.
Remember for
That's
St.
right.
Patrick's Day?
Chili's-
Oh no,
St.
now
Chili's
it's
Day.
Now it's
The
Easter
CNN
egg.
logo.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
it's a little likeness, a little silhouette of Wolf Blitzer. Yeah.
Well, you know.
He's fuzzy.
The
You know,
beard,
got the
right.
beard and everything going.
Oh, wow.
Spectacles is a trick, but
Well.
you had to draw those in.
Who are you going to talk to on CNN?
I don't know. They don't tell me until right before I go on.
All right. Well, whoever it is, your secret signal will be this. Whenever you're responding to whoever it is, you say, "Well, that's a good question, Dave." I mean, whoever the person is.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's a chick or not.
Right.
That's right. You just say my name somehow, some way.
Oh, God.
Dave did it.
Good.
Oh, you guys.
We need reassurance that there's going to be a secret signal to the peeps here in San Diego. What's it going to be?
Dude, I don't know.
How about just put your hand up to your right ear as if you're listening to an earpiece. You know,
Yeah,
do
that
that thing a
fake thing
couple
that
of
they
times.
always
That
do.
fake
Right.
thing. As the question's being asked, lift the finger, middle finger, bird finger,
You know, that's
and touch the earpiece.
Do you have an earpiece?
I do have an earpiece.
Good.
Well, then that's
That's
perfectly acceptable, and no one at CNN would blanch at that.
And do a little Stone Phillips nod while your hand is
And a
up
wink.
there. Mhm,
A wink and a nod.
Like you're listening attentively to the question
Yeah.
when actually you're thinking about us.
Why don't I just lick my lips while I'm at it?
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I like Chainsaw's idea. And I like my thing where you call the person Dave no matter what their name is. If it's Sarah, keep calling him Dave. If they insist that the name is Sarah, have no recognition of that.
What time are you on?
7:30, 7:35, something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Well, don't screw it up like you did on
Yeah.
Fox, all right?
Shut up. Did I screw up?
No.
Oh, no. It was
Oh, you
perfect.
didn't notice?
Didn't see a thing.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see it later in the tape.
But that thing hanging out of your nose, that wasn't
yeah.
embarrassing
The
at all.
makeup person.
I thought they had people to tell you about stuff like that.
You'd think.
like Boogie in the door.
That's
Boogie
right,
in the door.
Jumper in the door.
Some little something,
You'd be like J-Lo and eat it.
That was a
Thank you,
That's
Chris.
our secret signal.
Thank you, boy.
There you go. You gotta eat a booger.
We're about 4 years old. Oh, my God.
Hey, by the way, while you were away talking about something important, Boyer has decided he wants to slam you.
Oh, yeah, sure. Now he does, now that I'm not around and he's with his peeps. Yeah, wait till he gets me alone. Nothing.
Well, if he made a move, what would you do?
Laugh.
If he
groped in and
what was it?
He groped in with his hands and they started coming around.
If I digitally manipulated your breast
and your deltoid and rubbed your posterior.
What would you do? Would you respond or go ick?
God, I'm
With his
kind of
hairy
a
knuckles.
Rose girl. I have to just think about it when it happens. I don't know what I would do.
Come on, you've been a dry dog for months now.
What is going to satisfy you guys?
Well, he's preparing. He bleeds the brake lines before he goes to your house. You know that, don't you?
Is that what is that? What do you mean?
That means he's ready for
He
action.
masticates.
He knocks one out so that if something happens, it won't go too quick.
It's the equivalent of us shaving legs.
Right, we
and
don't-
wearing good underpants.
Right.
If you wear them.
Go in for backup, right?
Do you understand what I say by bleeding the brake lines?
I do now.
Okay.
Taking the edge off so that he won't be too anxious, but he's still young and virile enough to perform when necessary because he's had the refractory period. That's what he calls
That's what he calls it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So listen, my client is amenable to this slamming. How about you?
I told you he's a gentleman. What makes you think it hasn't already happened? He would not tell you.
Quarter-hour maintenance, baby.
No, I would tell.
Don't
I would
BS.
tell in great detail with single-line drawings and an illustrated storyboard.
And that can only increase the chances of this happening.
Exactly.
So you'd better be good.
Oh, I think we already had that discussion, Chris.
Greg, you're on a KGB. What's on your mind, buddy?
Hey, Dave.
Hey.
Dodo Dork. What's
Thank
up?
you. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, I just saw the hoof on TV for the first time.
Oh, no.
What the hell does she see in Boyer?
That's what I want to know.
She could do so much better.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not true.
Oh, yeah, you're pretty hot.
I'm telling
I
What are you
wasn't
looking
married
up?
with like 10 kids,
You're looking up refractory? In the Oxford English Dictionary, DOED, as we wordsmiths refer to
There it is, choice B. A, refractory, the bending of light. Number 2, the resting between squares.
I think I'm going to set my VCR so I can masticate later.
All right.
idea.
Thank you, Greg.
Wow.
All right, love your...
Yeah, Greg took it too far.
Whereas we...
All right, we have to take a quick time out so that we can be ready to make fun of the hoof on CNN.
It's a refractory period.
There you go.
What does it say?
Circa 1880, a brief period immediately following the response, especially of a muscle or nerve.
That's the number one definition?
Refractory period. This is the only definition. Before it recovers the capacity to make a second response.
Did he say muscle?
Yep.
Called also refractory phase.
You know what? We
Phase. I wish I had said that.
we talked
Phase.
about that. It's not a muscle. I remember I argued that it was a muscle, and it's actually some sort of glandular material. So
Technically, you are incorrect.
Well, I think it's the muscle that causes the propulsion.
I think you're an asshole.
Oh, my God.
Hoof,
do your kegels.
touch your ear for us, Hoofy.
All right, I will.
Or Winnie. Either
Yeah.
one. Or either one. See you later. Don't screw it up like you did last time.
Check your nose in the mirror.
Did we do our 7 o'clock?
No.
Did we do 7:30?
No.
Oh.
That's all we'll have time for.
Yikes.
Hurry up.
All right, here's Route 66.
Thank you. Working on a big wreck now, North Park, North 805, right at the 8 has it backed up, off and on to the South Bay to Plaza behind it. North County Coastline, South 5 slows La Costa to Manchester. South 15 heavy Felicita to Villa Rancho, then Bernardo Center to Camino del Norte. And slow in the South Bay where there's a crash northbound 5 just past 24th Street. I'm Ruth 66 with Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw on the 101.5 KGB.
What is fear?
This is KGB, the Dave Shelley and Chainsaw Radio Show. Here's Jared calling us at 570-1015. Jared, what's on your mind? Jared?
Hello?
Yes, hello,
Yes.
Jared.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Joey?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I just want to let you know that she is hot. I don't masticate to her or anything, but she is hot.
You talking about the hoof?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't even a good shot of her.
Really?
No, and she looks really worn out.
I can't believe that.
Rode hard, put away wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it
We're
like
her
that,
friends.
Looks like she just basically rolled out of bed.
Yeah. Just got off the Pony Express.
That's it.
You're not making fun of my girl, are you?
You.
Boyer?
Are you making fun of my girl?
What about it, David?
He's
Hello?
moving in on your territory there.
I know. I don't like
I'm pretty
that.
confident in my being where I am with the hoof.
You're thoroughly dissatisfying on this topic. You know that?
I don't know what to tell you, David. I'm ready to go. Willing,
But you don't do
able,
anything about it.
capable.
Gotta be more aggressive.
I think Boyer's saying it's the hoof who's preventing this from occurring.
But
well,
he
he isn't
hasn't even
saying that.
tried.
He
hasn't
is,
tried anything. He's been intimidated
That's
by
true.
talk
I'm
of a
trying
man
to be
who isn't even in the room.
He isn't saying that. He hasn't said that at all. And we all know that the hoof is basically just a horny,
Right?
She's
You
a
know.
goer.
She's a mare ready
so
for
what's
stud.
the problem?
Because she hasn't shown me that she's in estrus,
Are
David.
you kidding? You insisted that she did.
No, you got to wear the shirtless shirt. That was the cue.
She wore the
did.
shirtless shirt, and she makes you dinner all the time, which you insist is a woman begging for it.
Yeah, she hasn't invited me over to her house with the shirtless shirt. She had the shirtless shirt
Oh,
on
brother.
here.
You know
And I
what?
wanted you to-
I'm sure if she wore the shirtless shirt, you'd come up with some other reason. Something's going on with you. Are you afraid of her or something like that?
And I wasn't
Are you
gonna-
scared?
and I wasn't
Performance
gonna-
anxiety?
Set her down on the counter here and go to it right in front of y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you scared of her?
No.
Well, then what's the problem? Come on, seriously. You're not telling me the truth. Guy to guy, what's going on?
No, guy to guy, there's no deliberate casual contact.
Chainsaw, what's going on with him? Is he scared? Performance anxiety? What's going on?
From what
I'm
I
not going to get a straight answer from him. So
well,
you and I should make
have
one up.
worked as his interpreter from time to time, and from what I deduce from my personal one-on-one interrogations, we have spent hours on this, and that might even be true. She is not jumping on him, and she might be just kind of playing coy and trying to play it for the radio.
She's
That's
faking?
not good enough.
She might be faking, and she has this relationship with J.R. Ewing.
He doesn't want a relationship.
A what?
A relationship. He doesn't want one.
Well, I
He just
think
wants a slammer.
He's got some mother issues.
My mother.
All right, we're going to go to sports right now here on the KGB, but stand by. We could interrupt you at any time if
Yes.
the hoof breaks in on CNN because I want to see our secret signal.
Because they teased it. They teased it just a second ago going into these commercials, so I'm going to have to be lickety-split here.
Okay.
Lickety-split. Hello again, everybody, in the sports world. Sports fans, we learn something new every day. When the opposing team hits a home run, it's better if nobody is on base because a solo home run is less damaging than a homer with runners on, Ted.
The 2-2. Shot to left, could go, should go, back to the wall. It is going. Gone. Jay Payton, second home run in this series. And it's kind of a little out of hand here. You see, if you walk the first guy and then you lit the home run, it's a whole lot worse than them solo jobs. 8-0 Colorado.
No, I never thought of that. Yeah, Dick Van Patten day at Coors Field. 8 was enough. 8-zip Rockies. Padres now 7-12. 5-game losing streak tied for last place with Arizona. Day off today. They'll visit Chicago tomorrow. How about them goals? The San Diego Gulls have reached the Taylor Cup Finals again, eliminating Bakersfield on Friday. The Gulls will play the winner of the Idaho-Fresno series. Fresno leads 3-2, 3 games to 2. And regardless, the Gulls will host games 1 and 2 of the Taylor Cup Finals, no matter who it is, this Friday and Saturday nights at the Sports Arena. Meanwhile, in the National
I try to bring a certain honesty to the program.
Channel 22 news anchor Dick Brown talks about dedication.
Well, Maria's terrific. She's terrific. I've never worked with anyone as dedicated as her. She's here 24 hours a day working. My friends joke. They say, hey, man, have you had any of that? And man, I'd like to take a dip in her pond. It's true. She's an attractive co-anchor. But her journalistic knowledge, the understanding on how to deliver a top-notch, to-the-point news program is why I find her so attractive as a colleague. Would I f*** her? Of course I would. Would I rather learn from her expertise? Absolutely.
Dick Brown and Maria Alvarez. Just one more reason Channel 22 News Beat is your #1 source for local news.
Basketball Association. The playoffs have begun. The Lakers steamrolled Minnesota. Kobe 39, Shaq 32, 117-98. Allen Iverson exploded for 55 points as the Sixers blasted the Hornets. Tracy McGrady scored an above-the-rim 43 points as Orlando doctored Detroit. The only real drama, however, is which Eastern Conference team will emerge as lunch for the Lakers in the finals. In other sports, David.
You're confident the Lakers are going to get their next ring?
I am confident they will, yes, indeed.
Oh, wow.
I'm not rooting for them. They are not my team, but they just look too darn strong. Shaq is healthy. Kobe's awesome. And they flicked the switch, as they say.
Uh-oh, here comes the hoof.
Oh, all right. 7:40, 48 seconds this year. Oh, my.
Grief at the loss of our beloved Lacey and baby Connor. Our family has lost a wife.
I will tell you that the chainsaw is brought to you by Olhausen Billiards Game Room Superstore. You're going to find everything you need for your game room there. Family fun starts at 5620 Kearney Mesa Road.
We believe in his innocence, and he has our total and unwavering...
Better get our secret signal.
Quote. Now, that statement tempers some angry comments made earlier this weekend by Peterson's parents. Time Magazine reporter Jill Underwood conducted that interview, and she joins us now live.
Secret
Jill,
signal.
good to see you this morning. First question is, how soon after the arrest did you get a chance to speak with the family? Because their bitterness certainly did come through in this interview.
Right. Well, the arrest, as you know, was Friday evening, and
I didn't hear her call him Dave.
Early in the morning.
Did it, at any time during your conversation with them, did you get the sense that they had even
there it is! Oh, she touched her ear! Yes! Hot dog!
What finally made them...
All right, I don't even care about what else she says now.
Wait, maybe she'll call him
have
Dave,
the media there bothering their
won't.
neighbors, etc. But
Maybe
they're
she'll
very
Winnie.
frustrated and they're very disgusted,
I'm hopeful.
they say, by the way Modesto
Touched
police have been
her ear.
handling this case. They say that there are all kinds of witnesses that have been discredited by Modesto police, and it's just brought them such frustration that they felt like they wanted
Get a life.
to get it over with, because as you can see during a lot of the case,
He is kind of cantankerous, isn't he?
and it's hard for her to continue
looks better
talking
on
for long
CNN.
periods of time.
It's better
Yeah,
lighting.
they basically took the police...
Same room.
This
Is it
interview.
really?
It's the same exact shot that she was on Fox.
I think the
They
lighting's
said
better.
basically as well that they believe that the police department made up their minds like 8 hours into the investigation.
Yeah, as they say, they bungled it and went backwards from there. Right away, they pointed out to one specific detective. But
Yeah, whatever.
How did her body then get into the area where he was fishing that was miles and miles away from their home?
Oh, you're talking about the actual issue
Oh,
here.
yeah, I was talking about the actual issue.
I'm talking about secret signals and
whatever.
ripping Jill apart. Come on.
And where's her head? Ask him that.
I know. And her feet.
Oh, her feet are gone too?
That's I had heard that. The police are denying that, but that was a rumor.
Why would you do that? I don't understand that.
Well,
they're
if
in
you've
cement?
anchored her, yeah. If you've anchored her and then she's in the water for a long, long time,
Stuff comes off?
maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
All right. Do I want to hear any more of what she has to say?
Logical reason why
There might
all
be
of these
another
things
signal.
would happen.
Still going?
Let me bring up this one quote that we did pull out.
Hey, when she calls to check on her performance, let's tell her we didn't see her touch her ear.
Okay.
Let's tell her she didn't do it. No, you
That's a
didn't.
lie.
You weren't on camera when you did it.
Excuse me here.
And didn't call him Dave either.
Would he, Scott, go 80 miles fishing, buy gas and food along the way, have a receipt of the dock, and tell police exactly where he went fishing, and the body would be there? That does not make sense.
No kidding.
Does that, to me, I read that and think, well, here is someone, obviously they're in pain and they're in love with this guy, their son, but they may be somewhat deluded here.
I wouldn't say deluded. I think that, as any parent would, they want to believe their son. I think they do.
Disagreeing with the news anchor.
In their minds, every single
Getting in his
thing has a
face.
logical explanation.
Why don't you just call him stupid?
Yeah, what is this,
Friday because
Crossfire?
You're stupid.
Feared that Scott would flee to Mexico.
Jane,
He
you
did have
ignorant slut.
$10,000 in the car. He changed his appearance, etc.
Did they explain that, though? The
Well, here-
appearance change and
Well,
the
let me
cash
finish,
as well?
Mr.
Well, they did
Interrupting.
not, because that was toward the end of the interview, and they really wanted to say what they wanted to say and be done with it. We were
Let's tell her she came across as really crabby.
Yeah.
Okay? Wow, what are you, pissed at the guy? Did he, forget to call you the next day or
a
something?
device on the car to monitor where he was. His attorney knew where he was every moment, so did they. He had just been to
Yeah,
Mexico
wrap it up
6
and get on the
weeks prior.
phone.
He's from San Diego. The border is close. People go to Mexico, and it's not unusual for him to go, but that he would never run away from this, that he is leaving, though it might not seem like
Call
it.
him,
As
Dave.
are they say police have longed to divide and conquer the family.
What's she
and
looking
they say
down
they
at?
out
Herself
and
on the
out lied
monitor?
to them.
Yeah, staring at herself.
They're gonna pursue-
Egomaniac.
What do they mean by that?
He didn't elaborate on that they are going to continue looking into those other missing women. They're going to find out why police are not taking the other witnesses who they say saw Lacey after Lacey's mom, which was
ripping them apart.
to talk to her.
That's what it's all about.
I haven't heard a word.
Huh? What'd she say? I haven't heard anything.
In a nutshell, David.
Jill Underwood, nice job in the fascinating interview. Appreciate you coming in.
Oh,
and sharing some more
fascinating.
information.
Liar.
Good luck
He
to
wants
you.
a date
Thank
with
you,
her.
Dave.
Out in Time
Where's the
magazine.
thank you, Dave?
Now, the family of Lacey Peterson.
Get out.
He wants her.
All right, let's
Wow.
let me set the timer and see
That's
how
exciting.
Let me see how quick she calls. Now we got to tell her.
How was I? What'd you think? What'd you think?
I'll answer it if she calls. Okay. Let's tell her that we didn't see the secret signal.
Right.
Didn't call me Dave, and that she came across as really crabby.
Yeah. I like that.
Come on, call.
God, it's
18 seconds
She
already.
has one more, right?
She's going to do
8:30
today, but I think that's already done, isn't it? She
Yeah,
did
she'd
that at
done
5:30
one that
this
she was
morning.
She's already been on with Matt.
Oh.
And didn't say anything to him about his hair. That's messed up.
Yeah, that is really screwed.
He needs to quit cutting it.
Peter, you're on a KGB. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. I was just telling Emily that I think Boyer's kind of wimping out here.
Oh, yeah.
He's given all the indications of what the signs are that he's looking for, that everything's a go from Jill, and...
She's presented them.
Huh?
She has presented them, and he hasn't done a thing.
And yeah, so he's kind of wimped out on his own game plan here.
I know it. He doesn't acknowledge that. We all identify that.
So I'm trying to figure out why.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, I haven't seen Jill, but going by your description, she's a very attractive woman.
Yes, she is.
She's very slammable. I've dated more recently than either of you two, and I kind of have an idea what the indications are when a woman wants a little bit of this.
Yeah, with my wife, I can never tell.
Wow.
Well, thanks a lot, Dave.
Thank you, Peter. What was your? Go ahead with your angle there, boy. I'm interested in hearing this slop.
Well, I have a pretty good idea when a woman wants something more than just friends.
Yeah, but we don't.
I have never seen a woman so eager to get it on with a guy as the hoof is when she comes in here with you. She begs for it.
Yeah, it's all for the radio.
It's not vague. She basically is backing in with her tail up. Come on.
She knows
What do you
how to
need?
say the words, but
You
that's
telling me in
about it.
private she's a different person?
Yeah.
She's playing it for the radio as your defense.
She's playing it for the radio, and frankly, I don't need a lawsuit or to have to walk downstairs to Human Resources and get my cardboard box to clean out my desk in 20 minutes.
If you
Why
were
would you
worried
get
about
fired?
that,
Why would you get fired?
Well, there's the little thing called sexual harassment.
If anybody is a victim of sexual harassment, it's you, not her.
You know guys never get convicted of that, or women never get convicted of that. Guys cannot be sexually harassed. They just can't.
You're saying if you moved in on her and made a physical gesture, that she would say straight arm you and say it's a bit on the radio.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
well, you haven't tried, so you don't know.
What you get a sense about what to do. I mean, you don't get.
You're afraid, is what I'm hearing.
I,
Fear of rejection.
You are totally intimidated by her. Totally intimidated.
I don't need to take her on and challenge her or make an attempt to know that it's not going to work out. There's some things that you just know. I can't strap on wings and fly.
It's your third sense, is what you're telling
You
me.
can strap on wings and fly. Go over to La Jolla, the glider port. You can strap on wings and fly.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
You could.
The only reason you can't strap on wings and fly is because you're chicken, much like you are with the hoof.
Wow.
Yep, jingle into spots, brother. On board a KGB, 570-1015, Direct Connect. Here's Carl. You're on the air. What's going on, Carl?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Tip top. How you doing, pal?
Hey, good. Hey, boy, are you stupid?
Huh? What was that?
He said, hey, boy, are you stupid?
I don't think so.
Hey, man. I mean, obviously you're scared here, right? Like
We just
Dave
think
said,
he's
you
chicken.
You can't put on wings and fly because chickens can't fly.
Au contraire, mon
Chickens
frere.
can fly.
Shelley Dunn is here to tell you that chickens can fly.
Not very far or very long, but they can indeed fly.
Hey, you know what?
Well, yeah,
the Wright brothers didn't fly very far
That's
either,
right.
but they're credited with inventing the
Look
damn
what they
thing.
started, yes.
Yeah, I can
absolutely.
fly too, then not very far and not very long. Come
Yeah,
on.
I can fly too.
That's a Democrat thing to say right there.
Oh, it is not a Democratic thing to say that chickens can fly. Now move
Yeah,
on with
whatever.
move on with your criticism
Whatever.
of Boyer.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I tell you what you do. Obviously, you don't want to commit to this girl, so just pretend she's your race car. Take her a few laps and scrap her.
It's a little tough when you work with somebody. You have to see them a couple
You
of times.
don't work with her. She's here one day a week. Stop that crap. You
She
almost
wants
married
it
a girl
too. Come on.
that worked
Who
here.
you saw every day.
Yeah, come on.
She only
Knock it off.
That girl only worked half days.
Not at first, and even
It's
after
got
that,
nothing to
you
do
still-
with working with her, and you
still
know
hang
it.
around with her anyway.
Jill works 10 minutes a week.
Yeah, here.
Here.
And you still hang around with the last one, even though she got married. So don't say that it's awkward.
Drop that one. It ain't working
Plus,
for
you slammed an intern at the old place. Plus, you had the psycho woman. I mean, we've got 4 just off the tops of our heads.
That's 3. The hoof is not yet. The hoof
I
would
want to
be
know the
4.
intern. I didn't hear about that, I don't think.
Well, there's a Steely Dan record playing upstairs. He went down to work on his car. She was a little pissed off about it.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
why ignore me? Because it was
Right.
right afterwards. He walks downstairs with a bathrobe. She says,
Right.
"Where are you?" He's tinkering with his pinball machine.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is way back
Way
when.
back when. And she's going, "All right, I've had enough of this." And she walks out, and Boyer said, shrugs, and then
Right.
worked on the flippers. You know, I mean, it's just,
All right, Jeff, you're on the KGB. What's going on, buddy?
Did I get that right?
Yeah. You dumb son of a bitch.
You gay.
Hey, I think Boyer's doing a stand-up thing here for men everywhere. That he could carry on a plutonic relationship with a woman there. You know,
A platonic what?
A plutonic relationship.
Plutonic.
Plutonic.
I think he's doing a
It's from
stand-up thing here.
Pluto.
Yes.
A lot of guys would just throw a shot into the hoof and move right along.
So
Myself
would
included.
Boyer. He just doesn't think he'll get any positive reinforcement. He's chicken.
Yeah, he's chicken.
I think he's a gentleman.
Oh, that is such a lie. If only you knew.
Or he's impotent.
Oh, I think that's it.
Which rumor do you want to start better?
Impotent.
Chicken, impotent, or ugly? Take your pick.
Or gay.
Okay.
Let's make it those 3. He's chicken, impotent, and gay.
And gay. Exactly.
Wow.
Tough one to-
That sounds like a folk trio.
Can I pick 3 out of the 4?
Oh, we took ugly back. You got that going for you?
Yeah, come on. You're
well,
cute.
Because you're not ugly.
My wife thinks you're darling.
I love your wife.
He's
And
an adorable
adorable.
man.
Uh-huh.
You've whacked my wife before, you see.
Yeah, think about that.
Have you? She's really good.
Oh, my God.
What's the matter, Shell?
That's kind of creepy. Don't
How you doing over there?
That's kind of icky, don't you think?
All right, when you had
Oh.
a crush on him, did you ever to Boyer?
Oh, she said she did.
No, not fully Boyer. It was because he reminded me of the guy in Phoenix.
I know, but you...
Was
but-
he just one of the guys that moved through in a procession until you landed on one to fixate on and then...
Yeah, that's how it works. You know that.
Yeah, it was like more like, shuffling cards. Like,
let's see.
it's Boyer too. I don't know who it is. Whatever.
John Leslie. No, that's not working. Chainsaw. That's not working.
No, but I like his chair.
John Barcroft.
Chris Boyer. Mama like.
I wasn't even mama back then.
Shifted into overdrive.
2 towels later.
Oh, very briefly, and the whole crush lasted 2 weeks.
That's all right.
enough.
Until I
That's
got it
enough.
out of my head and went, oh my God, what are you doing?
14 days of fun.
Insane. Well, I wasn't an everyday thing. Yeah. But it's over now.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I have to tell you a couple things that happened over the weekend. We attended a party that I think could contribute maybe 2 quarter hours of maintenance here. I'll tell you the 2 things.
Excellent.
Tell you the 2 things that happened. Number 1, person who was throwing the party for us presented Beth and I with a gift. It was a birthday party, and we got the present. Isn't that nice?
Oh, sweet. Nice.
Our first ever in 15 years of marriage. We've never had Mama's Little Helper in the house, but we got one.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Wow.
You ever had one in your house, Chainsaw?
No.
We've got one. Yep.
Take it out for a test drive?
She has not.
Yeah?
It has not been removed from its packaging.
So this was the gift from at the party.
Yes. It's gold. Shiny gold. Is that a good one, Ruth?
What kind of a party were you
Gold
at?
kind of wears off, and then it kind of scares me.
That's a lot of friction, my friend.
Holy cow.
Did you get a nice patina or anything?
I wore the chrome off my dildo. Darn it, turned green. Oh, my God.
What can I tell you?
Let's see if
the
she has.
gold wears off.
It does.
After, 10, 20,000 usages.
You know, they're only good for me for a couple months, if that.
Like I say, 10, 20,000
Why
usages.
didn't you ask me about that?
Huh? What?
So rude.
What's the matter?
You're interrupting her, Dave.
Uh-oh, was I not supposed to talk about that?
What?
Was I not supposed to talk about that?
Well, I don't care.
Oh, okay, all right. Because it's still in the packaging.
Well, it's staying in the package.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
I threatened to get it out last night.
Not even curious, Beth?
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
Come on.
The darn thing won't even fit in my purse.
It's not where it belongs.
Even better.
I tried to put it in my purse and I couldn't hide it. It was so big.
So that's what you call it.
You put them like under the pillow or under your bed.
The other thing that happened,
Uh-huh.
we went to this party, and for whatever reason, there was discussion about cleaning out the closet.
Right.
And we're-
That was our anniversary present. We haven't seen her in a while. It was our 15th year wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
there was talk about cleaning out the closet. We're talking to this one couple that we're not like totally friends with, but we're entertaining the idea of having a relationship with.
Relationship?
No, they're adorable.
They're a nice couple.
Yeah.
And she's talking about how she was cleaning out all her old stuff that's no longer in style anymore.
Right.
And apparently it was like Thong Town
Oh, really?
in her closet. And he started trying them all on.
What? At the party?
No.
No.
At the closet cleaning out. It was private between them, but apparently, wasn't that what she was saying?
Yes, and he looked better in the outfits than her.
No, I doubt
She was
that.
mad.
I doubt that.
She's a hottie.
And he's really not.
No.
Oh.
Well, not compared to her.
She's a hottie. Uh-huh.
And he was hopping around apparently in her thong.
Mm-hmm. Orange, pink. And she said he was getting way too much enjoyment out of it.
And Beth hooted with delight
is a
when she
hoot
heard this.
worthy.
And I was wondering, why aren't I hooting with delight? And I thought, because I've seen Bromo in a thong a million times.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
big whoop.
Yeah.
No,
So, this having been revealed, what does this mean for the potential relationship?
Oh, I still like him. He's a regular guy.
oh, he's
good.
darling.
He's a good
They're
guy.
absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But the other one, the one that I'm not going to say her name.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. It seems to me right as soon as I was saying it, I promised you I wouldn't say anything about that.
Okay, no, that's okay.
Did I?
Because it's still no, it's okay. Because I didn't. I mean, it's still in the package, and I don't even know what to do with it, and I don't know how to use it. And
But it seems to me,
Well, open
I
it
promised
up.
this weekend I wouldn't
Oh,
talk.
Ruthie, I was going to send it to you.
It seems to me I promised I wouldn't talk about something this
okay.
weekend. Was that it,
The
though?
girl who gave it to me.
I
for our
won't say-
anniversary.
I
that
won't
we
say.
saw.
Yeah, what was it that he promised not to talk
that's
about?
Well, I got to make sure I don't screw it up.
The girl who gave it to me. Oh my gosh, I hope she's still sleeping. She has a bet with her friend that if something ever happens to her, that they'll clean out her toy closet before.
Oh, Ruth and Shelley have that.
Well, yeah, I have people who will come over and
She has that too.
rid the house. Well, you got to do
She
it.
must. What could be worse than that?
I have to do a sweep.
Here, sweetie.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want your friends to do a sweep before your parents get there. God forbid for their
That's
funeral.
what they
you know,
have going.
you have to.
Toast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pack it. Yeah.
Just throw them all in the coffin with me.
What? I'm making
But
one.
throw them down by the feet where people can't
Please.
see.
Right, take the batteries
Yeah.
out.
Don't stick them around my head.
There's a whole repertoire of items in there. I'm like, what could be
I think that would be kind of fun for Ruth.
to go through it?
Certainly, I'm not looking forward to the day that you pass, but we all must know that someday we will pass.
Sure.
And I think you should be buried in your coffin with a dildo bouquet.
It's very sweet, Dave.
You know, you got your hands resting over your stomach and holding like about a dozen, just neatly arranged.
All different sizes.
All on at the same time.
If you're cremated,
What,
that'd
honey?
be a big clanky urn, I'll tell you that.
What's the matter, hon?
That's so mean.
It's not mean.
That's funny.
You don't mind that? Oh my God!
Why would I mind?
Hang on, here's Bobby on the page. Hi, Bobby. Bobby.
Hello.
Hi. How are you? Hi, Bobby. What's
oh
up?
my God, she needs to take that toy out of the package and have fun with that.
Say that again.
She needs to take her toy out of the packaging and have fun with that.
Did you hear that, hon?
But I don't know how to do
Oh
it.
my my God.
You'll
I
figure
spent
it
way
out.
too many years of my life not playing with you.
It's sort of like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Toots!
Easier.
Thank you, Bobby. Toots, did I actually hear you say you don't know how?
Uh-uh.
Come on, honey.
No.
You know how.
I never. No.
I'm not saying you've ever done it before, but you know how.
Well, I can assume. Yes.
See?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah. But what if it like creeps up? I don't know. What does it do?
If it what?
Creeps up.
What does it do?
You mean if it gets stuck?
I know.
Well, don't let go of it.
It won't get stuck.
She's a big girl.
Just hold on to it.
Maybe
Oh,
we'll.
you hold on to it?
Maybe what we
Yeah.
could. Maybe what we could do
Oh.
to prevent against that is do what they do at gas stations and chain it to like a
Oh, that's a good
hubcap.
idea. Yeah.
What kind of transmission you can have?
Well, just chain it to a hubcap, huh? Then there'll be no problem.
Do you really hold on to it?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, what did you think it did?
Doesn't just work by itself.
Oh,
Honey, I mean, I've never used one either, and I know how to use it. Come on, seriously.
are you not hungry, sweetheart? No. Okay.
You know, Beth often calls me for advice on her Nextel phone. You know, how do you get the ringer to work? How do you do the internet messaging thing? Why don't Ruth, you become Beth's dildo consultant? We'll each have a little job that we can help other people on the show. Play to your strength.
I need so much help. Oh.
Hey, I'm sorry if I
thought
promised
that
it
thing
would.
just went wild. I didn't think that.
You thought it went wild like a rampaging
I
beast?
didn't know.
Just marauding the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like it's a guy. It's just like a guy part, kind of, sort of.
Oh, okay.
It's the best part of a guy.
Oh, well, maybe you don't recognize it because maybe Dave, you know, I don't know.
No, that's not nice. But it wouldn't fit in my purse. So I had to carry it around the whole night.
I think we should try it out.
No.
Oh, come on.
Yes, you should.
Put the batteries in there and fire it up.
Maybe Dave wants to try it out. Improvise maybe a belt and some duct tape.
Hey.
Maybe the hoof wants it.
Trust me, the hoof has one.
Oh,
You know,
oh, are you kidding me?
Dave is.
Ruthie, I was going to wrap it up for you.
That's okay.
Don't re-gift a dildo. Now, that is yours personally.
Well, it was regifted to me.
What?
Well, it was new.
It was gifted to you.
It
That
was
wasn't
gifted to
re-gifted,
you.
huh?
You can't re-gift it to someone else.
Oh, you can't?
Your
Oh,
friend wants you to have that.
Let's send it to Jack and Phyllis out in Chicago.
No!
There you go. Happy anniversary.
Gosh, my mom wouldn't.
Or
even
we could
have a
send it to
clue.
Reese and-
My mom wouldn't even have a clue.
Let's send it to Reese and Jean for their 50th
That's a
anniversary.
good idea. Or you could just keep it in one of the guest bedrooms for when people visit. You know, a little souvenir, like a nice little sachet that they get to take home.
I'll take it.
Oh, jeez. I still can't get over the fact that Ruth has worn the chrome off hers.
It's not shiny anymore.
Shot.
It's cool.
Oh, poor Ruth. I'll give you this one, Ruth.
It's okay.
I have no use for it.
I think we should
Can't
try it.
re-gift it.
When you got,
How do you know you have no use for it if you
because
never
I've got
tried?
all I need.
It's just
Your
a fun
husband
thing
wants to try it.
try
Oh,
things.
no.
I think that Dave not being challenged by the presence of another thing in the room is pretty good.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think that's enlightened.
Oh, the chrome's worn off. I wonder if it works anymore. Oh, darn it.
Whatever you do, Beth, don't chip a tooth.
What?
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, but two? What do you mean?
Nothing.
All right,
He
honey.
didn't mean that.
Gonna let you go, honey. I know you got kids to get off to school there,
Be happy
okay?
that you get to hang up.
I love you.
I love you too.
See ya.
Have fun.
It's Monday. All right, later today, Diane Ray and the Cash Clock. When it winds down, we pay up your chance to win $100,000. Lord Almighty. That's coming up right after 11 o'clock this morning here on the KGB. Here's Route 66.
Thank you so much. Slowing continues out of the South Bay, northbound 805 from Plaza off and on to the 94, then again from Balboa to the 52. Southbound 5 stacked out North County coastline from Lucadia, packed solid all the way to Loma Santa Fe. South 15 actually clearing out early, only heavy from Felicita to Villa Rancho, with another pocket of slowing at Mira Mesa Boulevard. Westbound 94 slows on the approach into downtown. The Padres are in Chicago to play the Cubs, and Channel 4 takes you there live. Matt Vasgersian and Rick Sutcliffe call the action tomorrow afternoon, 4:45 on Channel 4. Welcome to the show. I'm Ruth 66 with Dave Shelley and Chainsaw, 101.5 KGB.
On here.
They're coming to interview me for Inside Edition here.
Big deal. You know, you're so cool.
You know, the hoof is standing right behind me.
Thanks for the secret signal. Thanks a lot. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah, what did it kill you?
Tell her thanks for nothing for the secret signal.
Here, come here. You want to go on in there? Do you have headphones? Headphones for the hoof. Sounds like a fundraiser.
Oh, is he crying? Give me a break.
Be strong and
I got it in here,
good to
Chainsaw.
get you.
I got it in here.
Scott Peterson, and as he awaits a rain.
Did you ask Matt Lauer about his hair?
Modesto to
Yes, we're on.
Before leaving on San Diego on Sunday,
Can
they
we,
talked for
can
the
we
first time.
watch me, please?
Yeah, we're watching you. Thanks for nothing for the secret signal.
I gave it to you.
Didn't get it.
Yes, I did in my ear. I did it.
Must have been when you weren't on TV.
I did it right off the bat.
Didn't see it.
You weren't watching.
No, we watched it
Watch the
completely.
whole thing.
Thanks for calling him Dave.
I mean, how
It's a murder case.
So what?
Whatever.
It's solved.
He can't use his home.
They've got the bad guy. It's a good
Where's he
thing.
supposed to go?
No secret signal, nothing.
I gave it to you.
Yeah, whatever.
Can you?
Oh, there you are.
Let me
Jill Underwood
see.
and NBC's chief legal correspondent Dan Abrams. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Matt.
Clearly, the Petersons are under a lot
I'm just calling an
pressure.
ass.
The family under
Perfunctory
stress, but
greeting.
so are the Petersons. Mrs. Peterson, I think, at one point
Wow.
said, "This is going to kill
Matt
me."
and
talking
Jill
about
side by side.
The stress of all this. They are very angry.
Whose hair looks better?
The Modesto
Jill.
police because
Yeah.
they feel that those police officers have pursued only
Of course,
leads
Don
that
Rickles' hair
lead
looks
to
better than
Scott.
Matt
Is that
Lauer's.
accurate?
Hey, Jill.
Just shave it off.
Who pissed you off?
They're disgusted by what they say is the cleaning
I'm
of
a
the police
serious
before there's
journalist.
even
And it is.
Telling
They
you
don't
that.
understand that. They're disgusted by it.
But is it safe?
But you wouldn't understand any of that.
There's hope right now, Jill.
I think that any parent, I think people will look at them and say, well, of course they believe he's innocent. He's their parent, or that's his son.
Get it
But
right.
they have some very important questions that they want answered, and they don't feel that the police are looking into these questions. They
How come you didn't wear the shirtless shirt for Matt?
It says freelance reporter for NBC and Time Magazine. Where's the KGB part?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
We get nothing.
Jill, they also have some serious questions about perhaps
Oh, Matt, you know, act like you understand any of
preying
this.
on pregnant women. They talk about the body of another pregnant woman washing up or being found in San Francisco Bay in the month of January.
What a
Explain that.
glare you're giving him right now.
There are three other women, that the area around that bay has a lot of parolees. They say one torso was found of a pregnant woman. 2 other pregnant women are missing. They don't understand why police are not looking into those cases as well.
Dan, well, what can you tell me? Is there any evidence that perhaps could be
Did
someone
you cluck
preying
for
on
Matt?
pregnant San Francisco area?
The police would say no.
Oh, Dan Abrams, who cares what that idiot says? Do you do anything else?
I like him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
You know, they're coming. Inside Edition is coming to interview me here.
Yeah,
in
we heard.
half an hour.
We heard when you were yapping about it in another
God,
studio.
what a braggart.
We heard you yapping about it down to 933 and 91X and Bob and Mason. I don't know if you heard, but...
Stand on the stairwell.
Hey, do you get paid for that? You get paid for being on CNN? No. Well, we pay you to be on KGB, and we don't even get the credit on those shows.
Nothing.
What's up, Toots?
Oh, well, I got a call on my little hotline number about what Boyer said about breaking my teeth.
Chipping.
Yeah. That's not where it goes.
Yeah, Boyer.
Thank you, Romo.
Boyer.
Duh.
Wow, boy, is Boyer a dummy on that one.
Yeah. Way to figure it out.
Silly me. I'm sorry.
Thanks, honey.
Somebody called me and told me what that meant. I'm like,
That's great. That's good to know, honey.
Is that right?
Oh, I still love you. It's amazing. Yeah, I got to go. I love you, though. Bye.
So cute.
She's an adorable woman.
Yes, she is.
It is, too, in the dictionary. Look, right here. Gullible.
As to what happened to Lacey. So I think that they've got more than that. Slam dunk, tough to know.
Jill, Scott Peterson was taken into custody about 30 miles from the Mexican border. He had about 10,000.
Well, that's where San Diego is, you moron.
Clearly, he had changed his opinion.
What kind of implication was that?
Peterson's, his parents think it's ridiculous to assume that he was.
Ridiculous.
Is that right?
Right. They say that this is a boy who's lived close to the border all his life. He was run out of Modesto. He had worked in Mexico. The police knew that he had been there as recently as 6 weeks ago. They knew where he was.
And do you look pissed off?
To his parents every day.
Is Aunt Flo in town?
He was going to run away from his family in this.
And Dan, they also talked about this insurance policy that.
Yeah, whatever, Dan.
You know, when Dan was here covering the Westerfield trial, he was seen macking down with a local anchor woman.
Who was it?
I want to know.
Who was it?
Who was it?
He was making out with someone?
Uh-huh.
Well, who was it?
Kathleen Bade.
No.
Marty
but she's
Emerald.
Cute.
Yep.
Marty
Margino. It was Margino.
Nope, Stan Miller.
Come on. What channel?
Who was he making out with? Yeah, what channel?
NBC 739.
A current anchor?
Just left.
Just
Bree Walker.
No.
Who was it?
Suzanne Rico.
Oh, damn it.
Damn it.
Who is that?
Where'd she go?
I didn't know she was gone.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the one who did the Olympic coverage.
Where'd she
the
go
hot
to?
blonde,
she
right?
went to L.A.
I am.
Yeah, she was a cute girl.
Making out with Suzanne
Way to
Rico.
go, Dan.
Way
Mr.
to
Dan.
go, Dan.
I hate him.
Actually, I like him.
Oh, there you are again.
Hey, he's shorter than you.
Up next, celebrating the elegant life.
Ah, shut up, you're done.
Man.
All right, nice job, whatever.
Inside Edition's coming in a second.
Don't shake your head at me.
Let's make her do the interview in here, in this studio.
That's what I was saying.
Why don't you slam her right now?
When are they coming in? What time?
About 10 minutes. They say.
You wouldn't dare let them do it in here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We're going to make fun of you.
Oh, my God. Right where you're sitting in this studio, you're going to be on national television?
If you want to do it in here, that's great. But you know that we're going to...
Get the water balloons.
Oh, my God. Remember that?
Yes,
The
I
water gun?
remember.
That was so great. What show was that on?
That was a special that we did on Channel 5
Right.
with Brooke, wasn't it?
That's right. Yes.
And you Michael Corleoned me.
Yes.
With the water bottle.
It was awesome.
We did this thing with Channel 5. I'll never forget this. I don't know why. We started, they were profiling us, and they did separate interviews with each of us. And the minute we started with Boyer, we got water bottles out and started squirting them.
It was for the release of the Best of Dave Schilling and Chainsaw compact disc.
And when it came my turn, we had this claw thing laying around that you would use like at a grocery store when you wanted to get a box of rice off the top shelf, but you couldn't reach. It was just like about a 4-foot-long claw thing. And so I'm sitting there doing the interview, and all of a sudden the claw, holding a bottle of water, comes into the frame, empties on my head, releases the bottle.
Yes.
Just like Michael did with the gun.
Yes.
At the restaurant after he shot the police chief,
Salazzo and
Salazzo, and then retreated from the screen.
It was beautiful.
Don't look anybody in the eye, but don't look away either.
And we can do that for you, too, if you'd like.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Are you going to do it in here? You don't want to now, do you? Now you're
Well,
afraid.
now I feel peer pressured. I don't know. I got to think about
Now
it.
you have to. Now you have to do it in here and do Boyer at the same time.
Go
Come on.
Oh, by the way, we found out why Boyer hasn't slammed you yet.
Yeah.
Why is that?
He's chicken,
Gay.
he's impotent, and he's gay. No, you're not ugly.
Not ugly.
Sorry, you're not ugly, but you are chicken, impotent, and gay. 3 bad things
Folk trio.
when you're trying to nail a chick.
What did he
New
just
morning
say?
show.
Did he say butt trio?
Folk
Folk
trio.
trio. You're hearing words. Last week you heard boner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always hear that word.
Boyer's
I
actually
like
saying
it.
Boyer's saying you're faking the whole thing. The whole interest in
It's
him.
all
It's
about
all
a
a radio
bit.
bit.
But we see through that and we know that's his fear.
He says you're doing this all as a bit.
If he made a physical gesture towards you.
Yes, I attempted to digitally manipulate your nipple with my digitizers.
If he made a physical move, would you straight arm him?
Would I what?
Straight arm him?
Push him off.
I told you I'm a throws kind of girl. I don't know. I just react. I don't know what I would do.
Okay, try it now.
So does is there a chance you would
I have
embrace?
to go do other media. Excuse me. You butthole.
Wow.
Fancy pants.
I'm a news person.
Excuse me. I must go find George Chamberlain.
You're not going to pull your slack by that eye, are you? Ow.
Did we do our 8 o'clock, Ruth?
We did.
What am I talking to you guys for, then?
For the Harley-Davidson motorcycle you've always wanted, see San Diego Harley-Davidson, 5600 Kearney Mesa Road. It's the journey, San Diego Harley-Davidson.
$2.20 a gallon? If you're driving a gas guzzler, join the over 200 people who fixed that problem with us last month. Hi, I'm Mike Peterson, General Manager of Tipton Honda. The EPA says Civics get 38 miles per gallon on the highway. We've created a $119 a month lease on Civic LXs. That's so low, you could make the payments with the money you'll save on gas. Now that's how you build a long-term relationship.
Tipton, we're in it
for the long run.
On your approved credit, $2,600 cash or trade equity due from customer at lease signing. There's zero security deposit with 48 monthly payments of $119 plus sales tax. The lease includes 12,000 miles per year with 15 cents per mile over.
$119 a month and 38 miles per gallon. It's a good time for everyone to buy a Civic.
Tipton, we're in it for the long run.
Tipton Honda, right next to Home Depot in El Cajon.
Do you want to save some serious money? Then it's almost impossible to beat our 79 and You'll Feel Fine sale. Hi, I'm Jeff Scorzel, president of Banner Mattress. 79 and You'll Feel Fine doesn't last long, but while it does, just $79 gets you any size mattress. And I'm not just talking about twin size. $79 gets you a full size, queen size, even king size mattresses. All just $79 each piece when you buy the set. Plus, leave the $79 at home. On approved credit, there's no payments for an entire year. Yep, a queen for the price of a twin, plus no payments for a year. Banner Mattress. We make them, you save.
Banner Mattress for the rest of your life.
El Cajon, Chula Vista, Poway, San Diego, San Marcos, La Mesa, Ensenada, Santee, Escondido, and Oceanside. Call 1-888-3-BANNER for the store nearest you.
Thanks for calling SBC Customer Service. May I help you?
Hi, if I order local service, can I add high-speed internet access, wireless service, or long distance?
Sure, you can add any service you like in any combination, and we'll only send one bill to your house.
How about a doghouse? Can I get the high-speed internet access, long distance, local, and wireless services hooked up to a doghouse? It's about 3 by 5 feet, carpet, wood shingles.
Wow, you must really love that dog.
Well, actually, I'm living here now. My wife says it's just temporary, though. It'll blow over pretty soon, probably. Back off, Fluffy, no!
Everyone has different needs, which is why with SBC you can get just the services you want, all together on one bill. To find the right combination of services and how you can save money, call 1-877-460-8015. SBC Pacific Bell is now simply SBC.
Fluffy, please, it's freezing out here.
For residential subscribers only. Long distance provided by SBC Long Distance.
Scott Peterson is expected to be arraigned today on charges he killed his wife and unborn son. And more top Iraqis are in custody. Get the latest news 24 hours a day on News Radio 600 KOGO.
Meet Gerhard. Guten Tag. Gerhard loves technologically advanced German automobiles. So we asked him to evaluate an all-new luxury utility vehicle. First, we told him about the available rear-view camera. Wunderbar. And the available dynamic laser cruise control. Wunderbar. And the optional DVD navigation system. Wunderbar. Finally, we revealed that this all-new luxury utility vehicle is, in fact, the entirely new 2004 RX 330. From Lexus. Boss? Gerhard didn't use the word wunderbar.
Introducing the 2004 Lexus RX 330 with class-leading fuel economy. Putting the world on notice. Again. Available now at your Lexus dealer in Carlsbad, El Cajon, or Kearney Mesa. Or visit Lexus.com.
2004 RX 330 front-wheel drive, estimated miles per gallon, premium midsize SUV, Allison Fisher data.
Now here's something you'll want to get your hands on. The best theme park value in Southern California. Better known as the SeaWorld Fun Card. Yes, it's back. And right now you can buy your 2003 card for the single-day admission price and come back again and again and again for the rest of this year on us. Purchase before April 30th, and you'll also get a bonus pack filled with great park savings and a special preview of our brand new 4D attraction, R.L. Stein's Haunted Lighthouse, coming in the spring. Of course, with all the exciting events at SeaWorld throughout the year, you'll want to get your fun card earlier and not miss a thing. In fact, why are you still listening to me? Oh, right, you got to hear this. Purchase your fun card at the park, at SeaWorld.com, or by calling 866-SHAMU-FUN. Wait, I still have to say, fun cards are valid through December 31st, 2003. Some blackout dates and other restrictions apply. Okay, you can go now. Hopefully you didn't hear that, because that would mean you're still listening and not heading to SeaWorld or calling the number I gave you or booting up your computer so you can log on.
Because these days, saving money isn't optional. Because convenience is a way of life. Because your busy mornings deserve a break. Because breakfast shouldn't break the bank. People come to McDonald's for billions of reasons, like exciting new tastes at affordable prices.
Just try our new $1 sausage breakfast burrito. Spicy sausage, scrambled eggs, tomatoes, onions, green chilies, and cheese wrapped in a warm flour tortilla. Just $1 every morning. And even more eye-opening with a steaming cup of coffee and crisp hash browns for a little bit more. The new $1 sausage breakfast burrito. Only at McDonald's. Smile.
During breakfast hours only. Price and participation may vary.
And here's another reason McDonald's new premium salads have arrived. Enjoy a California Cobb, Caesar, or Bacon Ranch. All with grilled or crispy chicken. Even better, they come with one of 4 Newman's Own salad dressings. McDonald's premium salads are available all day. Pick it up at breakfast to enjoy at lunch.
Hey, the Hamwell Open is on Wednesday. Steel Canyon Golf Course having us out once again. It is sold out, but there are a couple final ways you can sneak in and play with us, and I mean play with us. Each of us here on the show has a twosome that you can bid to take your twosome on. Round it out to 4. Shelly and her friend. What's your friend's name?
Doug.
Doug. Shelly and Doug are going to be playing. You can bid to play in their group. Boyer and Chainsaw are teaming up. You can be in their group. Abramowitz and myself. Or the startling twosome of The Hoof and Mojo Nixon. Go to 101kgb.com, click on the Hamwell Open page, and you'll find the auction right there. And the auction, by the way, closes today. I don't know what time today. So I wouldn't waste any time. If you were holding back thinking you're going to be the big donator, you're going to do the big plug, throw a bunch of cash at it, and hopefully chase a lot of people away, you need to do it chop, because they could be turning it off at any time.
There's been some activity, too.
All right, let's hear what everyone's up to.
Where do you want to start?
Wherever.
You and Bromo at $460 lead the way. Next would be Chainsaw and Boyer, $435. Next would be me and Doug at $400, and Mojo and the Hoofy, $370.
Now, that one I'm surprised. I thought the Hoof would go highest bidder because we had plenty of guys calling up saying, hey, I'll give $500 just to go on a date with a Hoof.
Right.
Well, a date, maybe you go out for dinner and then you're
drop
done.
some money, yeah.
This was going to be like a 5 or 6 hour day you get to hang out with a Hoof.
Kidding. Maybe it's the Mojo factor. I'm crazy talking. I'm out of my mind.
Couldn't be.
No.
So anyway, time is running out fast, folks. If you want to bid on that, you got to get on it. 101kgb.com. Now let's get a sports update with a chainsaw here on KGB. Good morning.
Well, good morning, and thank you very much, Dave Rickards, Shelley Dunn, Chris Boyer, Ruth 66. How do I get out for everybody? In the sports world. Goose eggs for Easter. The Padres hunting all around Coors Field for a run, but could not find one yesterday. The Rockies found plenty.
The 2-2. Shot to left, could go, should go, back to the wall. It is going. Gone. Jay Payton, second home run in this series. And it's kind of a little out of hand here. You see, if you walk the first guy and then you lit the home run, it's a whole lot worse than them solo drives.
Really?
6-0 Colorado.
Gee, no more insurance runs. Rockies win 8-0, now 7-12. The Padres have lost 5 in a row and are tied for last with Arizona. Hope I didn't sugarcoat that too much for you. Padres visit Wrigley Field tomorrow through Thursday. Well, the man who ran onto the field last week at a baseball game in Chicago and was charged with attacking an umpire said he had been drinking all day and never intended to hurt anybody. Eric Dybus added, quote, "I'm deeply sorry. I regret doing everything that I did," unquote. Dybus said he wanted to distinguish himself from the 3 men who had stormed the field before he leaped from the stands during Tuesday night's Chicago White Sox-Kansas City game. Dybus said he had consumed 6 16-ounce beers at Wrigley Field, where he had attended a Chicago Cubs game in the afternoon, and then another 6 beers at U.S. Cellular Field at the White Sox game. So he went from cellular to a cell. It's a good thing those ballpark beers are 80% water, huh? Yeah. Let's see, from Cellular Field to a cell phone, a 24-year-old man accused of throwing a cell phone that hit Texas right fielder Carl Everett in the back of the head during a game faces a charge of assault with a deadly weapon.
Oh, come on.
Juan Carlos Covarrubias Serrano was arrested during the Rangers' 12-2 loss to the Oakland Athletics on Saturday for throwing the phone at Carl Everett's head. Come on. Hey, Carl, it's for you.
A deadly weapon?
After he gets out of jail, a few Major League scouts want to see this guy throw a baseball because he nailed him right in the head. Don't know so far, David, in terms of precedence, if a cell phone has ever caused death by throwing one at one's head. Sammy Sosa speaking of which, Sammy Sosa got the biggest scare of his career yesterday when he was hit in the batting helmet by a Solomon Torres fastball. But apparently wasn't seriously hurt as the Cubs lost 8-2 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. The pitch struck Sosa with such force, it shattered the helmet, but neurological tests were negative on the helmet. The helmet, however, was not so lucky. And Sosa is fine. He didn't even have a headache after the game, with only a few cuts caused by his damaged helmet and the shards, the splintered plastic.
Can you imagine what that sounded like?
Oh, my God. I didn't hear the sound. I didn't hear the tape.
No, I mean to Sammy.
Oh.
Because we've all been hit in the head.
Mm-hmm.
But he took it right on the ear. Wow. Right on the ear. Ouch.
Sosa said, the helmet saved me.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, I've never gotten hit like that before. And then he added, yeah, I've never gotten hit like that before. The San Diego Gulls have reached the Taylor Cup Finals again, eliminating Bakersfield on Friday night at the arena. Doc Gulls will play the winner of the Idaho-Fresno series, which Fresno currently leads 3-2. And Doc Gulls, whoever it is, will host games 1 and 2 this Friday and Saturday nights at the Sports Arena. Meanwhile, in the National...
Technology is supposed to make our lives easier, but you ever call someone on speakerphone? They always say the same thing. You sound like you're in a well or something. Are you in a well? I would say, yes, I am in a well. But luckily, there's a phone down here. I'm just down here in a well making phone calls. I was having people guess, but you know I was in a well right away. People hate speakerphone because they think you're distracted. They're always like, take me off speakerphone. I would say, hold on, let me pull up my pants.
Skitball Association. The playoffs have begun. The Lakers steamrolled Minnesota. Kobe 39, Shaq 32, 117-98, game 1. Allen Iverson exploded for 55 points, 5-5, as the Sixers blasted the Hornets. Tracy McGrady was unreal, scored an above-the-rim 43 as Orlando doctored Detroit.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Well, you're right in the sense that until somebody can knock off the Lakers, nobody can.
That is genius!
Genius! In other sports, David.
Chainsaw, I want to remind everybody that the Hamel Open, brought to you by Barona Valley Ranch and Casino, will feature catering from Sombrero Mexican food.
Yes, it's going to be a great night.
The silent auction, you can bid on such fine items as a set of clubs from Aldala, barbecue from Barbecues Galore, foursome in the Stan Humphrey Celebrity Golf Classic, which is coming up at Morgan Run. We have raffle items courtesy of TaylorMade, Nextel, O'Kelly, and anyone who's interested in making a donation of their product or service.
Wait a minute, this is a first-class event. How come we're associated with it?
I know it. Anyone interested in making a donation can call 858-522-5432. That's 858-522-5432, with all proceeds benefiting me.
Beautiful.
Or our charities. Whatever.
8:34, 18 seconds. This is 101.5 KGB Sports Network. Oh, my.
The Chainsaw brought to you by Trophies. Everyone wants low prices and great service. That's why people like you award their appetite at Trophies. Great service, top quality food, always low prices at Trophies. Here's Ruthie.
Thank you. Still some slowing in North County, especially on the coastline. Heavy South 5 Lucadia Boulevard past Manchester. South 15 looks great in Escondido. Just some brake lights around Mercy to Mira Mesa. North 805 still slowing over the 52. And westbound 94 slows on the approach into downtown. Meet NASCAR drivers Sterling Marlin, Kenny Wallace, Ken Schrader, and Jimmy Spencer. Then watch them race at Cajon Speedway Friday, April 25th, sponsored by the Fun Bike Center. I'm Ruth 66 with Dave Shelley and Chainsaw, 101.5 KGB.
We're on the KGB. It's Dave Shelley and Chainsaw with you. Does this Mr. Personality TV show look like something you're going to watch, Shell?
You know, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, Yeah, I'm kind of lukewarm on it.
I think I kind of want to watch it.
This is the show where they've got this one, like, glamour model, Babe.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many guys are there, 25, 50? And they all have to wear masks.
Yeah.
We know what they look like underneath, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, we get to know?
Sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So she just has to remember Mr. Purple Face and Mr. Greenhead and...
Oh, I think she gets to know their names and everything. The only thing she doesn't get to know is their face.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think that's kind of interesting.
Well, reality comes to the movies this weekend with the opening of The Real Cancun. Have you heard about this?
I have not.
It's a reality movie.
Really?
Yes. Why would they make a reality movie as opposed to reality TV?
They couldn't sell it to TV?
No.
It's X-rated?
Yep.
Woo!
Pretty close to it.
Well, that is what happens down there.
It's made by the real people, the same people who do The Real World, but it's never going to be shown on TV because it's full of nonstop drunken nudity.
Good Lord.
Who doesn't want to enjoy that?
Who would imagine that would happen in Cancun?
The film follows 16 spring breakers as they get liquored up in a luxury hotel in Cancun. Before they arrived, the hotel was wired with 100 surveillance cameras and hidden microphones, including special headboard microphones.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
In every room. The idea was to have them get drunker and wilder than they've ever been in their lives and then film them while they were having casual sex.
Oh, my gosh.
That's the movie, Shell. The first review is in from Daily Variety. They say The Real Cancun is, quote, tasteless, trashy, and hugely enjoyable.
So it'll make $1 gazillion.
Great
The
review.
average movie cost $60 million to make and $30 million to advertise. The Real Cancun cost $8. It contains more bare breasts than anyone can count. 3 guys' buttocks and 4 grainy video scenes of 2 people having sex. The ratings board gave it an R, saying it had strong sexuality, nudity, filthy language, and partying.
Excellent.
A studio executive said, "Perfect! We will use that quote in all the ads."
Can you hear the news? Mom, I've got some good news and bad news. I'm in a movie. The bad news is...
You want to hear the commercial for it?
Yes, I do.
It's just a lot of people screaming and go and show us your, all that stuff.
As you can well imagine.
The Real Cancun, it opens up this weekend, and here is the
New
commercial.
Line Cinema and the producers of The Real World are bringing the first spring break movie to a theater near you.
I heard you guys hate seeing each other naked.
Yeah, she's gross.
I'm a virgin.
Really?
Well, I've never had casual sex. I never will. Ever.
We're from New Mexico. Make some noise! Oh my God.
Cancun, baby!
The Real Cancun,
Or you took a shower with twins.
only in theaters.
Yeah, there's naked twins in it.
Oh, goodness.
Sounds like naked twin guys, though, right?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh!
Naked twin chicks.
Sweet.
Yep.
Any of you girls want to make out?
That would be my movie. The Real Cancun, don't know what that is. Naked twin chicks, I'm all over that. I understand that concept completely.
Well, now that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Jennifer Lopez?
J-Ho?
Well, the British version of People magazine says that J-Lo will co-star in the next Austin Powers movie. The working title? For Your Thighs Only. Have you ever seen any of the Austin Powers movies?
I saw the first one, yeah.
I thought the
It was
first one was
fun.
good. I thought the second one was great. I thought the third one was terrible.
Concur.
Yeah.
I think
I
saw
wouldn't
the
go quite
third
so far as terrible, but just totally inferior and pathetic is how I'd go.
Would that be Goldfinger?
Whereas the Gold Member.
Or Gold Member?
With the second one being far superior to any of them.
Number 2 was great.
It was awesome.
Was number 3 the Beyonce Knowles one?
Yes.
Okay,
didn't
that's
see
the
that
one
one.
I saw.
I saw it and I thought it was lame. Very lame. Very
A big
disappointing.
shrug. Maybe 2 or 3 scenes, that's it.
Because I thought the first one was good. I thought the second one was awesome.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to the third one, and I thought it
Let down.
was limp. Well, anyway, For Your Thighs Only, not a done deal. They still haven't signed an important character.
Who?
Mike Myers.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
You
God, I
can't
thought
do
he
it
was
without
on.
him. Come on.
One source says he's demanding so much money they can't possibly make a profit. Now, people who've worked with both Mike Myers and Jennifer Lopez says Myers is the temperamental one.
Oh, no.
Dang.
That's hard to believe. One of J-Lo's employees has the job of replacing these size 6 tags on her clothes with tags that say size 2. So far, we have
Oh, my
people who
God.
scent her air,
Uh-huh.
stir her tea.
Clockwise or you're fired.
That's right. And now we know that a third member of her posse is there specifically to change out the size 6, which is pretty tiny.
That's petite enough.
With a size 2. Who buys J-Lo squeezing into a size 2 with that can?
No, J-Lo,
Give me a
come
break.
on.
That's why you're famous, because you're not a size 2.
Right.
Did you see her new video?
No.
You look at those legs, and there's no way she got those big old muscular legs.
You know, though, they used to do this for Oprah when she was at her tip-top weight.
They changed her tags?
She'd try on a suit, she'd look at a suit, and she'd go, oh, I like that. And then they'd have to buy 2 size 16s and splice them together. I swear to God. And until she dumped all the weight, you know, one of the times that she dumped all the weight, they were terrified to tell her.
Is that funny?
Terrified to tell her.
So she was a 32.
She was like a 32, but more like maybe a
30.
27.
They had an extra sleeve
They
left
had a
over?
little extra. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
And she could never figure out why these suits she was, choosing to buy cost so much, because they just, please ring up the 2 together. Don't say that it's 2 items here.
That's funny.
Dear God, we can't tell her. She admitted it on the air, which I thought was great.
If the person forgets to change her size 6 tag to a size 2, J-Lo has a tantrum screaming, "What is this size 6 doing in my closet?"
Off with her head.
And you're forgetting about her nipple make them
Yes,
nipple
her
harder.
nipple
Oh, that's right. That's a fourth person in her posse.
Remember, we found out about the jacket holder. Somebody just has to hold her jacket.
That's a fifth person.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's got to have everything white in the room that she comes into.
That's a sixth person. It could be a dozen people right there.
And the jewel-encrusted toilet seat.
Someone's got to bolt that on and
Ben
off.
Affleck, yeah, because I think that's the only one her ass can sit on.
That's right.
All right.
But it's nice that she's able to pick and eat her own boogers by herself.
That's true.
Yeah. She doesn't have a picker. You would think she'd have a picker.
Pluck my nose for me.
Boogeyman.
I'm your boogeyman.
That's what I am.
Casey is making a return. Well, I am your boogeyman, you know.
Work. That's lovely.
1 month from today will be the biggest TV event since the Oscars. That's when they're holding the finals of American Idol Season 2.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, while other reality shows are starting to fade, Idol gets stronger and stronger. The head of a competing network says the finals are going to be a monster. Boy, I don't know. I'm not watching this show, but it gets good ratings.
Does.
Beth and I are watching TV this weekend, and we see a promo coming up for Survivor.
Mhm.
I'm like, that show's still on?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where are they?
Still Thursday nights.
No, where are they?
Oh, I think they're in South America, Amazon.
I don't know.
I know. I haven't watched
Do you
this
even
one.
watch?
Not this one, no.
Well, American Idol should easily win the ratings sweeps next month and possibly get the biggest audience of the entire season. ABC was supposed to air the conclusion of The Bachelor that night, but they've quietly moved it ahead 3 days. In fact, every network is getting their shows out of the way. American Idol is going to flatten them.
Wow.
The new magazine Radar has had such a tremendous launch, the editor thinks he knows why. He says, "We don't kiss celebrities' butts. Do that and you're dead in the water." The first issue has a brutal article about Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark?
They say the most surprising thing about his career is that he's not in prison. Back when he was a model for Calvin Klein, Mark made them airbrush out his third nipple.
Oh, I've heard about the third nipple.
He refused to get it removed. He said, "It's dope and bitches like to suck it."
Isn't that lovely?
Word.
But why would he be in jail for that?
When he was 16, he did 45 days in jail for beating a man with a metal hook and gouging the guy's eyes out.
Dang.
Oh, my God.
All while calling him nasty words.
Wow.
What do you get paid for that?
I don't know. 10 years ago, he wrote his autobiography, which starts out by saying, "I want to dedicate this book to my wiener." Okay.
I think you're supposed to let somebody else do that.
Have you seen Monica Lewinsky's got a TV show?
Yeah, no, what's that all about?
It wasn't that long ago that Monica Lewinsky was looking into the cameras and crying that she wants her privacy back.
Oh, right.
Please leave me alone.
And apparently she's found her privacy by hosting a game show called Mr. Personality tonight at 9 on Fox TV. She's the host of this one with the masks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that's what
That's
I thought.
her.
Yeah.
And she looks to have lost weight.
Oh, good for her.
Yes, she does.
Special camera?
And she looks all perky and happy and smiling. And
Oh, good for her.
It's 20 guys competing for a woman named Haley, and they're all wearing masks. So this woman will have to choose her dream man based on his inner qualities.
so they're not going to make her get married to him, are they? Those other shows.
I don't know. What does it matter anyway? All the You Have to Get Married shows end up with him not getting married.
That's true.
I don't know why people keep getting suckered into these things.
ever since the whole Darva, I didn't come here to get married. It's called How to Marry a Multimillionaire.
Who wants to marry?
Who wants to marry a multimillionaire? And you were one of the ones.
And by
who came
showing
and
up,
said,
we
yes.
assumed that you were one that wanted to.
Right. Absolutely.
Now, you know these commercials with Catherine Zeta-Jones for T-Mobile.
Yes.
And I know how much this upsets you. It really does. But you know what she does? She walks in, she says, freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And then she hands the person the cell phone, and at the end she goes, get more. How much?
She's making
this is gonna kill me.
$500,000 apiece or something.
$18 million.
I believe it.
Jeez.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
Remember when her husband, Grandpa, did those Infinity commercials?
yes. Yes.
$8 million
Just to voice them.
just to voice
Wow.
them. 2 afternoons in a recording studio.
Yep.
Plus maybe a couple of callbacks to just do some tags. $8 million. Probably for about a total of what? 4 hours work tops?
I'm going to bring that up the next time
It
I'm negotiating.
couldn't have been 4 hours.
It couldn't have been.
Good
maybe
God.
For a
maybe
30-second spot,
maybe
it couldn't.
maybe time elapsed, including drive time and showering and eating breakfast.
In taking a
Dummy, dummy breakfast.
done.
Yeah, that's $2 million for the crab.
Well, apparently they can't show these commercials in England because she's too unpopular there.
Really?
Yeah,
What-
she got a lot of bad publicity for going to London and saying maybe $1 million is a lot of money to some people, but it's nothing to me.
That was that trial over their wedding photographs, and they made a big deal about it and got into everyone's face. And so then there was a group of London school children who were saying, well, if it's not that much, why don't you help these needy children over in Nicaragua? And they've refused to answer any of their requests to do so.
Well, here in America, AOL has hired fading sex symbol Sharon Stone to pretend she's having intercourse with the company's logo.
Oh, this is so offensive.
It's weird.
Have you seen
They're
this?
pretty hot, though.
Oh,
No.
God, they're so
She
horrible.
looks really good.
Is it
in-
that little cartoon guy?
Yes, and she's like acting
I've
like
seen-
she just had sex with him. It's just icky.
She's laying on her back, and she's looking pretty. She's looking very pretty. I think
Oh,
there was some special
chainsaw.
lens work.
Oh.
She looks very hot. But
Is she glistening?
virtually, but
Oh.
it's extremely cheesy
it?
and tawdry. I would call it
makes
tawdry.
me
It's icky.
It's ick, just looking at it.
I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the one where
Horrible.
they do the remake of the $6 Million Man, and they have him running on the treadmill and all that
that's-
other kind of stuff.
That's semi-clever, but this other one is just completely tawdry. It's kind of icky.
It's very icky.
I can't wait to see it.
You're the best I've ever had.
And they make her seem needy and
Yeah,
ew,
yeah. Very
ew.
clutching and
It's
clawing.
just
Where
so
are you going?
creepy.
And then he runs off.
Yeah.
Where'd you see it?
It's on television. It's
Yeah, I've
been
seen
running
it.
for a while.
I thought it ran during the Oscars too, because that's the first time I saw it, and it icked me out then.
Yeah, she looks great, but it's icky.
I got to see if they got it on the website because I want to see this now.
I'm even debating whether she looks that great. I mean,
I
I've
think
seen
she
her
looks-
look better.
She looks great in it.
I just think she looks icky.
Damn it.
What's the matter, Chainsaw?
Premise is icky, but damn it.
How you doing, pal?
I'm doing fine.
You want to be the little logo, don't you?
My mama.
to be on his island.
That's right.
My mother. My mother.
The TV critic for the Philadelphia Inquirer says doing commercials outside of Japan is a real career killer. And if you don't believe me, I have 2 words for you. Jason Alexander. Well, what's he going to do?
Yeah.
Nothing.
That didn't kill his career. The end of Seinfeld killed his career.
Yeah.
That show where he was the Bob George, the talk show. What the hell was he? He was a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
America's third greatest motivation. Get out.
Wasn't funny.
It was terrible.
The former Seinfeld star will be lucky to ever work again after doing the ads for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
He did the
Got a
press
boatload of
release.
money, and that didn't
Yeah.
work.
He's done quite a few of them.
The new ad campaign for Pony Shoes has just started, featuring porn star Jenna Jameson. Conservative commentator Bill O'Reilly of Fox News is trashing the company for hiring semi-prostitutes to sell their sneakers. But Jenna says, I hope Bill understands the difference between a porn star and a hooker. I assume he's done some research on the subject since he requested some of my videos after we finished taping my appearance on his show last summer. Oops! All right. Hold on. Tobey Maguire wants $35 million for the next Spider-Man movie.
Good luck, sweetie.
Good. Ask for more. That way you'll never get on
Right.
again.
Did anyone see the first one?
No.
No, but it was pretty huge,
I
wasn't
think
it?
they made tons of money.
Yeah.
Over 200,000? I mean, 200 million?
He almost quit when he didn't get it. That's the word from the latest issue of Newsweek. He was demanding the same deal that the producer got in the first film. Toby was paid $4 million, which he was quite happy about at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They more than quadrupled that amount for the sequel, offering $17 million, but that wasn't
Dang.
enough. Now, can you imagine anybody saying no to $17 million? And I mean anybody.
Not in my world.
I don't think Bill Gates would say no to $17 million.
Of course not.
You have to be insane.
Not for a couple of months' work where they treat you like a star.
Yeah. A source tells Newsweek Toby had been listening to his actor buddies, who include Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, you can picture all those guys sitting around telling him, man, you only got $4 million? After being influenced by his friends, Toby suddenly got a bad back and wasn't sure if he could do the sequel. So they offered the role to the boyfriend of Kirsten Dunst.
Oh.
That's all it took. Toby's back healed right up.
Oh, really?
A miracle.
Silly actor.
And Jay Leno says, this is truly a season of miracles. It's Passover, it's Easter, and last week the greatest miracle of all, a black person actually appeared on Friends. Anybody watch it on Thursday? Was the Dream episode?
Missed it.
Yeah, breezed through it, and it was quick, and it was...
Stupid?
Yeah.
Is it done?
That show, I thought, was very good for about 5 years.
So now you know where to go.
Cool.
Go to Mossy. Rounding 9 o'clock here on KGB San Diego, KGBB Temecula, just to name 2 of the stations that carry our internationally syndicated broadcast. Hey, by the way, if you have any questions on how things went with Kiss and Aerosmith in Los Angeles over the weekend, 888-570-1015 is a direct connect here. We'll talk to you about that. Good morning, KGB.
Morning.
Morning.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Hey, good. Thank you. I missed the hoof on all of the morning shows.
Oh.
Is she going to be on anything else today, Dave?
She's doing Inside Edition. In fact, I think she's doing Inside Edition right now somewhere here in the building. We should find a way to sabotage her.
Yes, we should.
Mm-hmm.
What channel is that on?
I think it will be a tape thing for later today.
Yeah, I don't know what channel it's on, though.
It's
I
a
can't.
distributed show. I don't know. No.
I know, but I still don't know what the channel is. Thank you, though, Chris, for your insight on how it works.
Oh, thank you very much.
You missed my joke when they asked where's Jill going to be on, and I said, on me.
Sorry.
All right. Are we ready with a half-baked?
Yes, absolutely.
Crackpot news.
You got it.
All right, here's Shelley Dunn.
Well, there's an Iraqi opposition leader who says he thinks Saddam Hussein is alive and moving from place to place still in the country of Iraq. This is the Iraqi National Congress chief, Ahmad Shabali. He tells BBC today that his group is getting information on Saddam's whereabouts and the whereabouts of his sons 12 to 24 hours after the fact. So they asked him if Saddam remains in Iraq, and he said yes, he is in Iraq, and yes, he is moving around. Who buys it? Not me.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares if
and
he's moving around?
I think
don't
that
care.
is our official stance.
As long as he's out of control. That's all
right.
I care about.
That's right.
Oh, I wouldn't mind if he was dead, I got to say.
Well, I think that is kind of what we were hoping.
Yeah.
The bombs, they cost a lot of money, and I hope they did something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, more regime leaders are said to be in custody today, men included on those now famous deck of cards that all of our guys have. Forces captured a top Iraqi science official over the weekend. The official, can't even pronounce his name, could, though, yield clues about Iraq's nuclear program. Opposition groups say he was certainly involved in that program. The Iraqi opposition is said to be questioning Saddam Hussein's son-in-law. He reportedly returned to Baghdad from Syria and surrendered. And one of Saddam's top bodyguards also reportedly gave himself up. U.S. Central Command earlier announced the capture of 2 of Saddam's half-brothers. Maybe they'll spill some information. Meanwhile, much of Baghdad without power, but some progress is being made in restoring it. One power plant in the northeast part of the capital is back online. It supplies power to an oil refinery in a nearby district. Traffic lights came back on. They had been stuck on red. U.S. military is reportedly getting some information on Iraq's weapons programs from an insider. The New York Times reports an Iraqi scientist says Iraq destroyed chemical weapons and biowarfare equipment just days before this war started.
Good, fine. However you got to do it.
And our new guy, Jay Garner, is now in Baghdad. He's a retired lieutenant general. He's there to be a so-called civil administrator providing water and power. Here's Clear Channel reporter Aaron Cattersley, also in the Iraqi capital, says reaction to Garner has been mixed.
Before this, he was a defense contractor. He was a civilian, essentially, which some Iraqis may see as a good sign, but he was working in an industry that helps produce missile systems, which were used on this country in the war just several days ago.
Well, no kidding. Well, no kidding. And regardless of who provides the necessities, that reporter, sure the Iraqi people will be glad to have them. Meanwhile, superstar Joan Rivers, best known for her fashion specials on ETV. She's got more than just fashion on her mind, though, when it came to critiquing the Oscars. Thank God she finally weighed in on this. She's plenty upset with Michael Moore for sounding off against President Bush and the war with Iraq.
I thought Michael was totally inappropriate. War just started. We have boys going over there, and
dying and you're making a statement, you big fatso.
Yeah! I watched her on the Pat Sajak show yesterday. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. That girl is tight.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. I never knew
a
it.
quarter off those cheekbones.
Oh, man.
Catwoman, yeah.
She is hardcore tight.
Yes.
The only cool thing is that she admits she does it, and she says, I'll keep doing it as long as I can.
She's scary looking.
She
though.
is scary looking.
Especially when you look at older pictures of her. What she used to look like.
It's astonishing when you look at
Goatee
it.
is a little bit obvious.
Let's hear it again. Joan Rivers, please.
I thought Michael was totally inappropriate. War just started. We have boys going over there and they're dying and you're making a statement, you big fatso.
Meanwhile, the
I agree
Dixie
with Joan.
Chicks are hoping to put their PR disaster behind them before the U.S. Legislature tour begins. Yes. So they're trying to explain themselves in an interview with Diane Sawyer on Primetime Live on ABC. It'll air this Thursday night. The interview has already been shot. Rumor has it that Diane made Natalie Maines cry.
Big deal.
I know. Back to the Rivers family. Playboy has offered Melissa Rivers $500,000 to show us what's under her shirt.
Offer her $500,000 to keep it on.
It's only for a topless photo, so they're going to have to serve up more if they want everything to go. Well, here's our president. President Bush says Syria beginning to understand the U.S. won't tolerate it harboring any terrorists or top officials from Saddam Hussein's regime. The president, speaking to the press outside Fort Hood, the church where he attended Easter services, says he's confident Syria will cooperate with the U.S.
I don't like that fort.
The Fort Hood.
I don't like that word. It's been used in so many bad ways, specifically by Dr. Ruth.
All right.
There's Mount Hood in Oregon.
Are you having problems with your hood?
You know, I never would have thought of that until you said that, and now that's all I'm going to think
Have you got like a
of.
latch somewhere to release your hood? And does it just like spring out?
No, but it's somewhere on the dashboard. I could never find it.
Never liked that word.
Well,
lift the hood and check the oil.
I don't like that word.
How about Fort Bliss? That sounds like a nicer place.
Bliss is good. You'd like to go there.
Fort Gravy Boat. Oof. All right.
Anyway, President Bush says he's confident Syria will cooperate with the U.S. and will turn over any Iraqis wanted by the U.S. government.
Best diplomacy is the diplomacy of having our friends as well as ourselves send clear messages, and we're doing that. And I'm confident the Syrian government has heard us, and I believe it when they say they want to cooperate with us. Well, no kidding.
Well, no kidding. Meanwhile, in Detroit, 2 men are being questioned after some suspicious activity around a bridge. This was one that leads from Detroit to Canada. Last night, police on patrol spotted 2 men videotaping the Ambassador Bridge. Then they found dynamite and shotgun shells in these guys' cars. The Dearborn, Michigan men also had handheld audio tape recorders and photographs of immigration papers. Police turned the items over to federal authorities. The Ambassador Bridge is the nation's busiest international border crossing. It handles about 25% of all trade traffic between the U.S. and Canada. And did you know that pilots, some of them now, are going to be allowed to carry guns in the cockpit? However, Robert Sprock is not one of those pilots. He was kicked out of the program, and for one, he's whining and says it's just not fair.
I was qualified to carry a sidearm when I was flying nuclear weapons around in the Air Force for several years. I've served as my city's mayor and commissioner. I've served on my church board as a deacon for 4 years. I've served on my county resource recovery board. I carry a concealed weapons permit for the state of Florida.
What did he just say? What was that all about?
He's listing his qualifications for why he should be able to carry a gun as a pilot.
What, he flunked the program?
They kicked him out, and he thinks maybe it was because he was labeled a troublemaker. He thinks, asked too many questions about the screening process and the safety of the program.
Well,
I sleep in a T-shirt.
Thank you.
That's good to know, Brittany.
Jailers in Modesto say Scott Peterson is quiet and polite as he sits in jail. He's waiting to be arraigned on charges he murdered his wife and their unborn son.
Going to be pretty embarrassing for him when his roots start growing out in the middle of his trial.
Because, we all saw the tragedy of Betty Broderick and what happened when those blonde roots went...
There ain't no loving Clairol in Sing Sing.
Sorry.
Why in the heck would he color his hair at a time like that?
We're going to
I wonder, maybe it was to make him not look like him?
No, he has an explanation. You'll be happy to... And once you hear this, you're going to go, oh, that's why.
Okay.
We'll get to that in a minute, though. First of all, Sheriff spokesman Kelly Houston says Peterson is in the maximum security section of the jail.
Which means he has guards with him when he makes any movements out of his cell for any reason, and he is essentially in a row with other folks that are facing charges similar to him.
Stop it.
See a person?
He could
sounds like
be.
a person.
Well, Kelly Houston. He says Scott is being held as a maximum security inmate in part because the other inmates have made threats against him.
There is a lot of diverse opinions, and those opinions don't stop at the walls of the jail. The inmates here have access to televisions and newspapers, and they're reading the same things that most of us are seeing.
Hey, speaking of persons,
Yes.
and I'm always, a lot of times I'm the last one on the train. And I'm not going to name any specific names, but is it possible that any of the people that we interviewed on Friday night is a person?
We discussed that on our phone calls home. We said,
I
"Do you
think he's
it's
the
so-and-so is a
person."
person?" And I said, "I think he's a person."
He speaks like a person.
But he was a very nice person.
Very nice person.
Absolutely.
But I
enjoyed
think he
all
would
the
listen to KPRS.
Stop it.
Music.
What's that?
For persons.
Stop it. So funny.
So you picked up on that too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great in our ride back home because Emily rode back home with me, and then Chainsaw decided to call Emily. So it was like I had 3 people in my car, and then Boyer called Emily. So it was like I had a
Time
full of
flew.
people. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, so let's go back to the Peterson case. Police bungled this case.
Oh.
Well, that's what the Peterson family says.
Oh.
His parents also say that Scott is a victim of a police force and public that are demanding an answer to Lacey Peterson's murder, and they just turned to the first obvious possibility. Now, what about his suspicious behavior, like moving down here to San Diego, where he's close to the border? Lee and Jackie Peterson, who live in Solana Beach, told Time magazine reporter, oh, look at this, Jill Underwood,
Le Hoof.
that there is an easy explanation for all of this.
Is this the hoof?
Uh-huh.
Being out on the road drunk
Oh,
and driving
Fluffy.
is
Oh, you're on the job. Put down the beer.
thing at all.
Huh? All right, here's the hoof.
The Petersons say...
What's that?
Stop it. Go ahead, Petersons.
The Petersons say this is his home. He's been run out of Modesto. He's paying on a car that
I was
the
run out of
police have
Modesto.
confiscated, and he has nowhere else to go. Yay, I'm glad I'm here.
Oh, me too. A prosecutor today says Scott Peterson will likely face the death penalty.
Whoops.
It's James Brazelton told ABC News, quote, "It's hard for me to realistically believe it's anything but a death penalty case at this time."
Loser.
He did talk to his attorney last night, Peterson did. They think they'll arraign him this afternoon, although that could be delayed. And that's the latest on that.
Shall hear a special news correspondent, Jim, with this late-breaking
Jim.
bulletin. Good morning, Jim.
Dave, you dumb son of a bitch.
He's gay, too.
Hey, I was watching the ESPN fishing shows this morning, and in between the shows, the guy comes on and he has a PETA update.
PETA update on a fishing show?
Yeah. It was in between the two shows. And he goes, I think it was in Arkansas, he said, PETA got down there and managed to round up a little over 400 deers, and they put orange vests on them, thinking that the hunters wouldn't shoot when they saw the orange. Well, another man offered him, I forget, probably made me like $100 a vest, and about 380 of them came back. So 380 deer shot, and they said, and he quoted like saying, like, the best laid plans can backfire.
Yeah.
What a horrible idea, because after, obviously, the hunters are onto it, they might mistake a deer for a man.
No kidding.
Or vice versa, and shoot a guy, a person. a
Once
person.
again, there's PETA for you.
Just stupid.
I would rather have you shot than a deer.
Thank you, Jim.
Creating a dangerous situation.
Woody, you're on a KGB. What's going on?
Hey, I was kind of curious to find out why is it Jill Underwood? You call her the hoof?
Yes.
And why? Because she looks like a horse?
No.
Well, I'm open to that suggestion.
Well, and it's
Kind of like.
No, that's not why we call Jill the hoof.
Why do you call her the hoof?
We had a guy in here, John
Corbett.
John Corbett, the star of so much stuff, including My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And John was in here, and he noticed that Jill had a tattoo on her ankle. And he said, "Can I see it?" And he went down to examine it, and Jill, who had not shaved her legs in a couple of months, inadvertently caused severe lacerations to John Corbett's hand.
And now when you see him, you'll never see him use his right hand.
Yeah, it's just like Radar.
Right.
Yeah, he's just like Radar
I mean, you
O'Reilly.
wouldn't think about it. You wouldn't notice it. But if you actually look, he'll never use it.
So the hair basically covered over her.
So that's why it all started when she assaulted John Corbett with her fetlock.
All right. All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
News continues after this. want to say thanks to Sean. Listens to us up on the Extra B, the KGBB, the 1033 in Temecula. Runs about the finest cigar shop up there in Temecula. It's the Old Town Smoke Shop and has donated some nice things for our Hamwell Open coming up on Wednesday. Appreciate that, Sean. And all our pals listening on the syndicated program.
We're syndicated?
Internationally.
Oh.
Sugar Pants. Wow. Which means not only are we heard throughout other parts of our country, but other countries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that was a little icky.
Yeah.
That was a little icky.
Might have pushed a little farther, Shane.
Yeah, good job, Boyer.
Urinated with Boyer during that last break.
Did you really?
Mhm.
How'd it go?
He gets up pretty tight on that pot. Have you ever noticed that, Chainsaw? You know, you'll see the feet from under the separators, the dividers. Most people, they stand in front of it. He straddles it.
Yeah, he goes straight down like a chick.
He straddles that. He straddles the bowl. How you doing, Emily?
I didn't want to hang out of the door.
That's Emily.
You're right, Chris. That's what I do. I stand halfway through the door.
Plenty of room in there.
There's plenty of room, and you're a straddler. I saw your chukka boots side by side along the porcelain.
He straddles the urinal. He's a close urinal.
I stepped up to raise the seat with my foot.
And was very loud with it, uncoordinated.
You're a clanger.
Slam. I was in there, too.
Yeah, I'm surprised the quiet pooper next door didn't break off.
The silent crapper is what we call him.
Silent crapper.
There's a silent
The
crap.
Slam
poor dumb
shut.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Poor dumb bastard in the last stall down against the wall. We don't know who it was because,
Right.
everything, all systems shut off when we walked in, the three of us.
I hate when that happens.
But you get unusually close to the device.
I was close enough to swing up the seat, and I didn't feel the need to step back.
No, you're just weird.
Okay,
Yeah, come on.
However you want to believe
Acknowledge
it.
that. You're just weird.
He's weirder than I am in the bathroom.
No, he's not.
And in all
I'm
areas.
sorry.
No, he's not.
You make a pretty good team.
And Chainsaw and I had completed our missions and washed.
Uh-huh.
And you still were,
Still drinking.
I think, still waiting to begin the mission. Have
No,
you
I-
caught my shy kidney disease?
No, I started while you guys were
Washing? Or while we were... Well, then you had a long way to go, buddy.
I guess I don't know. I thought you were still there as I started, and definitely I was going while you were washing.
That's terrific. Okay.
And I'm going to try to adjust the time delay on the faucet for you.
I don't want to hear any more about you chicks being synchronized,
Well, we
okay?
have-
Because this is way weird that we're talking about this.
the push faucet thing that automatically shuts off, 4 seconds. We timed.
It's not enough to wash your hands. You need a good 10.
Why do they do that?
So you're washing your hands, and then you
Cheap
got
bastards!
then you
That's
got to
right.
slam your palm onto the dirty
I
nozzle
know.
again to wash your hands, and so you got to quickly get it. It's very, very difficult. So we'd like 8 seconds.
Yeah, let's go for 10
10 would be fine.
for a thorough wash.
You
Are you
bet.
gonna get that done?
Yeah, I'll look up the Chifauco website and find out what's going on.
Is that the manufacturer of the faucet?
Yeah, I think it's Chicago Faucet Company.
What did you call it?
Chifauco.
Why?
Because that's what it says on all their faucets. There's no room to write Chicago Faucet Company, so it's CHI-FAU-CO. Sorry. We had those when I was a kid in grade school.
I've got the sight of his.
Fascinating.
I've got the sight of his chukka boots nuzzling the toilet in my head, and I can't get them out.
How did you stoop so low to see that? You had to bend down.
No, I could
No?
see it from. I could see it from the sink.
Was he installed? He was install 1.
He was
You're
in number
right.
1.
That's right.
Right
That's-
next to the
oh,
stand-ups.
Yeah.
And his chukkas, chainsaw. I'm not kidding. He was straddling.
I believe you.
The pot.
Yeah.
Now, is that normal?
He does that with the urinal as well. He's very close. I'm surprised there's not porcelain contact with his Hawaiian shirt.
No, not at all. In fact, I stand back if there's no one else present. I mean, it's sort of like if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there, does it make a sound?
Exactly.
It's exactly what it's like.
So when someone else is there, I change my maneuvering.
Why?
I get close because you're a peeker. You're a well-known peeker.
Well, what about when you're closed off in the stall?
You talking about
Did you think he was going to peek over?
he's tall enough to do it.
Hey, he's done it to me.
It's only a 6-foot stall, and Chainsaw's like 6'9". 6'4", whatever. He's very tall, and there aren't 4 inches below his head. I mean, his eyes are like 2 inches below the top of his head.
I know, there's always darting eyes.
He's easy to see over.
You know,
But he's seen it before. Come on.
You screw one goat, and for the rest of your life.
Here's Doug on a KGB. What's going on there, Doug?
Hey, how's it going, Dave?
Tip top. Talk to me, Kirk.
You guys are in violation of an ADA standard. You have to have 15 seconds minimum on that faucet.
Oh, there's no way.
Cheap,
not even
Clear
close.
Channel bastards. Save it on the water bill.
I don't know that many faucets that do go for 15 seconds. That's a long run.
Yeah, it's a 15-second minimum. That's for the handicap standard.
All right, thank you, Doug.
I love you.
Eddie, you're on the KGB. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, now that you're on this subject, what is proper urinal etiquette?
What do you need to know?
Well, when you walk into the bathroom, this guy's lined up on the wall there. Do you eye him? Or you just look at the wall and say, if he says, hey, do you look over at him, or do you...
No eye contact.
I thought there was no talking.
Never talk.
Never, huh? But what
I might if it's a well-known... I mean, if it's a buddy of mine, I might say hi to him.
Sure, I mean, we
what
will,
if he says
but
hi to you?
Eddie, are you talking about if it's just a stranger going into a ballpark or a business or whatever
Exactly.
it is? Okay, no contact.
I don't care for that. And what if he says hi to you, Chainsaw?
Hey.
What was that?
Huh? Nah. That's
Spell it.
Nah. Nah. What am I, Jack Lemmon with a Eustachian tooth problem? Nah. You know what I mean? Just a grunt.
Just an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
I heard you say hi, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Right.
Not in here to talk to you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, Eddie, there you go.
Thanks, guys.
Glad we could solve that for you. Robert, you're on the KGB. What's going on, buddy?
Just wanted to find out what's the bid to play with your foursome.
Let's look it up here. The Hamul Open is on Wednesday. The only way to get in now is to bid to play in our own groups. You can bid to pair up with myself and Abramowitz, which is up to $475 now. You can pair up with Shelley and Shemp. They're at $400, as are Mojo and the Hoof. And Chainsaw and Boyer up to $480 now. The bidding ends today. I don't know what time, but I wouldn't dawdle if I were you.
Okay.
All right.
What's your price?
Ours is $475.
Okay, $1,000.
Well, are you going to put that on the website?
How do I do that?
Let me put you on hold. I'll have you talk to Emily, okay?
Okay.
All right. $1,000, huh?
Yep.
Sweet.
If I'm not mistaken, that would make me the highest bidder.
By more than double. Oh, just helping you out there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nicely done. I can exhale now. Oh.
Huh?
Hyperventilated there.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
All right. What else is in the news today, Shell?
Well, we're still talking about the Petersons.
What?
Well, it's a long story.
Oh, he did it. Move on.
Well, no, the Petersons say he did not murder his wife. He was arrested last Friday, near the Torrey Pines Golf Course, just hours before DNA tests confirmed that the bodies of a woman and an infant boy found on the shore of a San Francisco bay last week were Lacey and their unborn son. This was within 3 miles of where Scott told authorities he'd gone fishing on Christmas Eve. That was the day that his wife disappeared. Suspicion focused on Scott when it was learned that he was having an affair with another woman.
Whoops!
They arrested Peterson because they were concerned he might try to flee to Mexico and that he had changed his appearance. That concerned them. His hair was lighter now, and he grew a goatee. And he had $10,000 and his brother's ID on him when he got arrested.
Whatever.
Close friends of Scott and Lacey say no matter what the murder trial turns up, their friendship will not be the same. This is Mike and Heather Richardson. They used to go on vacation, go to dinner with the Petersons. They were even planning a baby shower for Lacey before she disappeared. That won't happen anymore. But the parents of Scott are accusing authorities of unfairly targeting their son. His mother says the police and the media are blowing the case out of proportion. And she says she feels like she's living in Nazi Germany.
Who says this?
Mom.
Mom of who? You okay?
Excuse me, I am having throat problems. Mom of Scott.
Oh, she feels like she's living in Nazi Germany.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I wonder if I could clear that up for her.
I think it might be cleared up for her pretty quickly.
Okay.
I think the family's in denial, and, you know, how horrible to have to deal with something like this. Well, a lot of us celebrate Easter with, I don't know, an Easter egg hunt, Easter basket, maybe even Easter brunch. But in the Philippines, on Good Friday, to gear up for the celebration of Easter, at least 13 people decided to go ahead and nail themselves to the cross voluntarily. The crucified Filipinos gladly received nails through their palms and feet. They believe it's a way to pay for their sins or pray for a sick relative. The men who aren't hardcore enough to be crucified enjoy taking off their shirts and cutting their backs with broken bottles that are attached to 2x4s. Then they beat themselves with bamboo whips.
Wow. I had brunch at El Biscocho in
Well,
Champaign
see?
instead.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I like my way better.
Well, if you decided you wanted to go join the Filipinos in this, sorry, they quit allowing foreigners to be crucified after
Damn
Easter
it.
of 1995 when it was ruined by a Japanese porn star who filmed his crucifixion for an extreme naughty video.
All right.
Boston Marathon, is that today, Chainsaw? Yeah.
I think it is.
So if you watch shots of that, you will see Will Ferrell. Yes, Saturday Night Live fame, old school fame, not a joke. He actually runs marathons.
You know who
He'll
else
be
is
out
running in
there
it?
today. Who?
Artie Ojeda from NBC.
Yeah.
Huh?
Who?
Artie Ojeda.
Artie
Ojeda, who's a weekend news anchor over at NBC.
He's got the fireman mustache going.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, okay.
He's running in it.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Thrilled, aren't you?
Like to get some of him.
Definitely thrilled about
I used to go to school with him.
Who did? What school?
Artie Ojeda at City College. We
really?
took
What class did you take?
it was a TV news class.
TV news.
Was
Was
he
he
the
not-
guy
I
who
was
didn't
the
need any refractory period?
No.
Okay.
I was the sportscaster for a couple of the shows.
What?
I was.
What a natural.
Sports today.
Did you make a phone call during your own sportscast?
No.
How about a yawn? Huh? Nothing? Oh.
No.
Right in the middle of our own sportscast.
Well, let's talk about new movies. It runs in the family. Oh, I can't wait. It's 3 generations of the Douglases, namely Oscar winner Michael, alongside dad Kirk and mother Diana and son Cameron. In the film, the family play the Grombergs, a fictional and dysfunctional New York family. Michael Douglas explains his desire.
Diarrhea? Yes, diarrhea?
Just hit the damn button.
Well, my father,
shut
Kirk,
up.
and I have been trying over 20 years
To have
now,
a
I
baby.
think, or at least 15, 16 years to do a picture together.
I'm a very excellent driver.
Just sort of for posterity and the fact that we both are actors. And
Greed is
we thought it'd be a
good.
nice idea.
Right.
All right, it opens nationwide on Friday.
I'll tell you
into
what looks good in the
projects.
trailer. I saw The Mighty Wind over the weekend. And there's a trailer. Do you remember The In-Laws with Peter Falk and Alan Arkin?
I know, but I've seen excerpts
A
of it.
wildly funny movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe it. There's a remake of it, and it's going to be Michael Douglas and Albert Brooks.
Right.
It's going to be funny.
Can't
Okay,
wait.
thank you, Cookie. Go on, Shell. What else is
I
there?
hate that.
it's
I
not
hate that.
bizarre.
I had one of those today, too.
When?
That's okay.
I don't know. Some stupid thing I said, and you all looked at me like I was an idiot. Kind of like the way you are right now.
So what else is happening, Shell?
Evel Knievel has signed over exclusive rights to allow the production of a rock opera based on his life. Evel Knievel, the rock opera, brainchild of Jeff Beck, a musical director and composer with the small Los Angeles theater company Zoo District. Beck says he envisions a rock opera for Knievel to be sort of the musical spirit of the 70s bands, The Who, Led Zeppelin, and Pink Floyd. Can't wait. Remember last week when I told you about a Michigan man who fell overboard and had to tread water for 17 hours? We actually tracked him down, and we've been able to speak with him. This is the guy that fell off the cruise ship Celebration, sails out of Galveston, Texas. Tim Sears floated for 17 hours in the Gulf of Mexico before he was rescued. He says he doesn't even remember falling from the ship.
It had to be somewhere between a 4 to 6 story fall into the water, and I was unconscious. That whole aspect of it, I have no memory of it.
He was drinking, and he says nobody on the ship, including his roommate, even reported he was missing.
Well, I was traveling with a friend of mine from back here in Michigan, and he just assumed that I had met a nice lady and was with her.
He was later rescued by a cargo ship, but he tried to stay calm during his 17 hours of treading water. Actually, though, he didn't think he was going to make it out alive.
About 3/4 of the way through the whole experience, I just came to a point of pretty much peace, and where I just realized that I probably wasn't going to get out of the situation. And fortunately, I still had enough in me to keep going.
Yeah, who isn't glad about that? Finally, this morning, in light of everything we've been talking about this morning, what was your word? Refractory period. Refractory period. This might help you out. There's a new solution being developed to help men avoid premature
ejaculation
during sex. It's an anesthetic and a condom. Reuters reports the condom will numb a man's penis in order to slow the process of being turned on.
That ruins all the fun.
They put a thin layer of anesthetic inside it.
Yeah, that's enough. It's like having sex with a bicycle tube on your crank. What good is
Yeah,
that?
I've done that, so I have.
We all know what that feels like.
I have some comparison going on there.
Wrapping it all up in a neat bow. Thank you.
Help her.
That belt stem always gets in the way.
All right, did we do our 9:30, Ruth? No. It's going to wrap on traffic here with Route 66, and then we got the chainsaw coming up next here. It's KGB.
Thank you so much. Almost done. Just leftover brake light southbound 5 at Manchester's. The rest of the freeways have returned to full speed. Heat up your lunch life with Subway's new hot oven-toasted sandwich menu. Try Subway's new Chipotle Southwest steak and cheese or barbecued pulled pork sandwiches. They're served hot on fresh baked bread. Now available at Subway restaurants throughout San Diego. I'm Ruth 66. Dave Shelley and Chainsaw, 101.5 KGB.
Hi, Cindy. You're on the KGB. What's on your mind, girl?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Good. Well, my husband's down at work, and I cannot reach him for what he does. He's out on the floor. He builds airplane component parts, and I can't reach him, but today is our 19th wedding anniversary, and I don't know when I'll talk to him, so I kind of wanted to wish him, happy day.
What's his name?
His name is Dane.
Dane, D-A-N-E?
Right.
And is he a baby talker?
No.
Come on.
Little bit.
No.
Little bit of a baby talker.
No, maybe to the kids when they were little.
Yeah. What do you call him? What name do you call him when no one's around to hear you two? Jerk face?
Well, honey. I just call him honey.
Okay.
We're an old couple.
Okay. That's cool.
That might have happened, like years ago, but...
What are you guys going to do tonight for your anniversary?
I don't know. We kind of... I know this doesn't sound very romantic, but we had bought our house up here in Ramona 2 years ago, and I gave him landscaping around the pool
That's what you gave him?
for our anniversary present. Lighting and landscaping, and he gave me a pond.
Well, that's nice.
A pond?
A pond.
Huh.
Yeah, that you put water plants in
Yeah.
and soy and...
It's unusual.
Well, yeah, because we did the romantic thing last year. We kind of, every once in a while, this is new and this is different, and this is really what we want, is to fix up this house and the yard. It's an acre and a half, so there's a lot to do.
Maybe you get to be right next to that brand new airport they're talking about putting in
I
Ramona.
hope not.
Yeah.
Really, an airport?
That's what they're
Yeah.
talking about on the news last night, a brand new airport in Ramona.
That makes me a little ill, I think.
Yeah.
So there's a big meeting up here.
Yeah.
Like an international airport?
Like an international airport.
Oh, golly.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Well, I know there's room
that's
for it
just-
up there.
Yeah.
That much closer to Ireland I get to be then.
There's one particular spot, and I don't know where it is. I don't even know if it's Ramona. But whenever we're golfing at Mount Woodson,
Right.
you get onto the back nine, and I want to say up around the 16th hole. You get way up on top of the hills out there, and you look down on the flat part, and there is a huge... I know that's where they're talking about putting it.
That's
There
right.
is a huge section, many square miles, wide open out there.
And see, that makes me sad because when I come home from work and I drive by all of those vacant lots,
Yeah.
I appreciate it so much, and I'm so afraid that somebody's going to come and develop. Why can't somebody just look at a piece of land and go, all right?
There's no money in that.
Well, I know it. Sometimes that's
got
not
my
always the
house
best
up there.
idea.
Yeah, don't worry, you'll get used to the sound. I did.
Lovely.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to say to Dan? Go ahead. The radio is yours.
Oh, well, just that I thank him for, so many good years. It doesn't seem like 19 years. That's
like
a long
29
time.
years. Yeah.
And for being such a good husband and father and all the great memories that have been made in between.
Beautiful. Well, I hope you have a nice anniversary tonight,
Thanks
Cindy.
very much, you guys.
Thanks for checking in. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye. One more time to the chainsaw before we finish up today here. It's KGB. Good morning.
Well, good morning, and thank you, David, and hello again, everybody in the sports world. Sports fans, we learn something new every day. When the opposing team hits a home run, it's better if nobody is on base because a solo homer is less damaging than a homer with runners on.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
The 2-2. Shot to left. Could go. Should go. Back to the wall. It is going. Gone. Jay Payton. Second home run in this series. And it's kind of a little out of hand here. You see, if you walk the first guy and then you let the home run, it's a whole lot worse than them solo jobs. 8-0 Colorado.
Dick Van Patten Day at Coors Field. 8 was enough. 8-zip Colorado. Padres now 7-12. 5-game losing streak, tied for last place with Arizona. Day off today. They'll visit Chicago tomorrow. The man who attacked that umpire in Chicago last week is, quote, deeply sorry. I just wanted to get a rise out of the crowd, unquote. Instead, he got a rise on his forehead. Umps and players put a pop knot on him you could hang a suit on. The fan admitted he'd consumed 6 16-ounce beers at Wrigley Field, where he attended a Cubs game earlier in the day, and then 6 more at Comiskey Park. 12 16-ouncers. That scene could have been a lot uglier. For the next test, the Chicago White Sox security, that was a dog day on Saturday. Fans got to bring their dogs to the game, and there was no incidents of dogs charging the field and attacking anyone. The White Sox are now considering banning people and only allowing dogs. Actually, there was one incident of a dog running onto the field and charging the ump. The good news, it didn't want to fight. It only wanted a tummy rub. There was a scary moment during the Chicago Cubs' 8-2 loss to the Pittsburgh Pirates yesterday. Sammy Sosa was hit in the head by a pitch so hard his helmet shattered. Sammy will be okay, but that helmet broke up like a Jennifer Lopez marriage. At the press conference afterwards, Sammy said he was fine, but he wanted to know what all the reporters were doing in his bedroom.
I don't get it.
I got it.
Not worth it. The San Diego Gulls have reached the Taylor Cup Finals again, eliminating Bakersfield on Friday. The Gulls will play the winner of the Idaho-Fresno series. Fresno leads 3-2, and whoever it is, the Gulls will host games 1 and 2 this Friday and Saturday nights at the arena. Meanwhile, in the National Bet.
And I love being a comedian. I love being a comedian because it's pure. You can be honest. Certain occupations you can't be honest. Barber, hairdresser. These guys have to be tactful, diplomatic. Guy goes into a barber shop, all those pictures on the wall. I'd like to look like him. The barber could never go, listen, you fat pig. He is a male model. You are a human sloth. Do you understand me? Want to look like him? How about if I start by trimming some of your fat face, you porkadelic, you centerfold from Meat Magazine, you heaving, humping hog of life? I don't mean that in a bad way. You can't have an honest 4th grade school teacher. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Johnny, your son, your only child, the fruit of your loin, is a moron. I have no idea how this kid finds a door to get out of the house in the morning. If I were you, I would waste him and start over. Now, I say that with all due respect. I don't mean that in a bad way. That's my cousin Johnny with the Italian eraser phrase. Hey, Dom, not for nothing. That guy is a low-life, scummy, little fat rat weasel bastard. I don't mean that in a bad way. Don't take me wrong. With all due respect, your sister's a slut. Now, I said that with all due respect. You see, I mean, she is one of the biggest boutons. Even when she crosses her legs, they don't close all the way because she's so stretched out. But that's not the point. She's blood.
Sketball Association. The playoffs have begun. The Lakers destroyed Minnesota. Kobe 39, Shaq 32, 117-98 in Game 1 there. Allen Iverson exploded for 55 points as the Sixers blasted the Hornets. Tracy McGrady scored an above-the-rim 43 points as Orlando doctored Detroit. The playoffs, of course, are designed to determine who the Lakers will sweep in the finals. In other sports, David.
Shelley, what is the point of bidding to be in our groups for the Hamwell Open on Wednesday?
Well, you get to play.
Yes, but what is the point of... What is the
money?
Point? Yeah.
Goes to a good cause.
No.
We're so competitive.
Yes, now you're there. Come on.
That we want to win.
Right.
Yes.
It's a chance for us to compete against each other.
Right.
Now,
exactly.
Emily, did that guy who called in with a $1,000 bid, did he get in?
Mm-mm.
That means Chainsaw's the winner with Boyer at $630.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Chainsaw and Boyer coming in first place with a bid of $630.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
I take second place with Bromo. Some rat bastard was too cheap to put in a penny to get me to $600. So I'm $599.99.
What's that about?
I don't know. And then Shelley and Shemp and Mojo and The Hoof each getting $400 for each group. So that's a lot of extra money for the Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw charities.
Nice.
More importantly, Chainsaw wins the competition.
Well, I think Boyer had something to do with it because, you know, when you think golf,
Yeah.
come on,
Or anything athletic.
you think Boyer.
That's right. You gonna wear the chukka boots?
Yeah, if you'd like it.
They grip that turf, my friend. Oh, yeah. 10:02 and 48 seconds. This is your 101.5 KGB Sports Network. Oh!
And the chainsaw brought to you by the Chip Merchant. You get 10% off the already low prices on computer systems and upgrades. Call 800-808-CHIP. Reminder, when the cash clock winds down, do you know what it's paying out today?
Something insane, like thousands and thousands and thousands.
$100,000. I know it. Right after 11 o'clock.
50,000. They've upped it?
Don't ask me.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
How can we expect to stay in business?
$100,000. Right after 11 o'clock with Diane Ray coming up here on the KGB San Diego. Here's Matt. What's on your mind, Matt? What's the question for you, buddy?
My question is, what time the Hamul Open starts on Wednesday?
Yeah, Emily, what time is it?
12:30.
No, it's not 12:30.
Yeah, huh?
Who says?
Huh?
She doesn't know. You have no idea.
She has to be there to golf. She should know.
She doesn't know. I think it's 1 o'clock.
It's always 1 o'clock.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I've heard 1 o'clock is the shotgun start, so
Yes.
you'll want to be there about 12:30 to get checked in.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
That's what I meant.
Or even earlier.
Is there an Abramowitz anything going on?
Well, you know, we didn't play golf last Thursday.
I know you didn't.
So he might actually show up in regular clothing.
Oh. Well, remember Friday when we were up in L.A. and I read that magazine that talked about that special loving procedure?
Yeah. We got to talk about that tomorrow, okay?
I stole the magazine so we could.
Okay, save that for me for tomorrow.
That and everything else that wasn't nailed down in the room.
Yeah, we got a new golf bet for Abramowitz coming up. That
Can't wait.
I don't think I want to witness it, but
No. But I want to hear it.
yeah, we'll put him in there with a cell phone and listen to the
Run.
torture. Ouch, darn it. All right, Jill, you're going to be on TV all over the place today. What time, when, where, what? It's all about me.
Okay, this is just so stupid.
Why?
It's just funny. It's I don't know. It's just weird. Reporters interviewing reporters.
You think you're so cool because you were on the Today Show with Matt Lauer. You were on all these other shows, CNN, MSNBC, and now Inside Edition tonight, 7:30 Channel 10.
Kind of talking about me now, Chainsaw. So, so Court TV today from 2 to 2:30.
Who are you talking to on that one?
I don't know. They don't tell me until the last minute. I know Hardball with Chris.
You're going to talk to Chris Matthews?
We're going to watch the press conference together and then comment.
Okay.
And that's at 4 to 4:30. Then CNN is doing a special with Paula Zahn at 5:30.
Oh, wear the shirtless shirt with Paula Zahn. Come on.
You know, she's from San Diego.
Fascinating.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Will you
She's
two
not
be
from
discussing
here.
that? So anyway, back to us. And then CNN headline news at 6. Greta Van Susteren at 7.
Hello.
And then
Side-by-side
Larry
pictures.
King.
You're doing Larry King tonight?
Yes. Wow. And then a bunch of radio tomorrow, and then they're having a special Fox special edition on Saturday that they're limoing me down for.
You think you're cool.
So,
Where are you getting limoed to?
I'll be up in Lake Arrowhead going away for the weekend, and they're sending a limo up to take me to L.A. for a special on
Swing.
Saturday.
Wow.
Love it.
Loving me.
You're for sure going to get laid if you want to with that.
I want a secret signal on Larry King
I
tonight.
gave you one. I'm so bummed you didn't see it.
Yeah, we saw it. We were just jacking with you. Oh, there's the little snotty face.
Lost your change.
Got it.
I don't think you know that you're talking to a national correspondent.
She's giving you another special signal.
I want a special signal from Larry King tonight. Can we do that?
Snap his suspenders.
How's that?
No, the happy hair sound.
Hock up a fur ball. All
Don't
right.
call him Dave.
Larry King. He'll propose by the end of the show.
We'll be kind of related.
He'll propose midway through the show, and lucky you should be fertilized by the end. The Hoof, hello.
You know, you have to say, hello, Larry. You have to say hello. You can't say hi or good evening.
All right, today's show has been brought to you by your Lexus dealers, Home Equity Mortgage, Harley Davidson, Trophies Restaurant, and Express Tires. Thank you, friends. I look for D-Ray next, followed by Mojo Nixon, and then we're back with you at 7 o'clock tonight. The Encore Show. Do it all over again. And start it up fresh and new at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Here on the 101 KGB San Diego, KGBB Temecula. Love your show.